Tonight on the Black Channel, we're going to have a conversation about how to fail at making a chess move. The Black Channel is live. Unapologetic, unadulterated, and absolutely uncompromising. Greetings, brothers and sisters from around the world, and welcome back to the home, the haven, the stronghold, and the everlasting superfortress of intelligent black thought. We are the Black Media, and this is the Black Channel, and I am your host, your brother, your humble servant, the voice of Black America, the Black Authority, broadcasting to you live from the only historically black college and university of higher education and learning in the cosmos. Join us. And join us you shall, because on tonight's program here, boy, I'm telling you, in the modern era, there are so many people who are adept at saying things that are completely erroneous and wrong on every level. And because they don't get called out on it, they don't get vetted on it, they don't get required to prove that what they're saying is true, they just keep blowing their bilge into the atmosphere. In the last week, you have witnessed what essentially in your lives should be a master class on how to exert and exercise power, and how to fumble the damn ball and turn a position of power into powerlessness. You have one individual on your page here who snatched victory from the jaws of defeat, and you have another who took victory and shoved it straight down defeat's damn throat. And that's exactly what you have here. Now, over the last couple of years, ever since Jay-Z made his deal with the NFL, and we were critical about that from day one. We monitored it meticulously from day one and pointed out, had a whole bunch of black folk who sounded like the folks who support Obama. So now we realize that's a pathology, talking about give Jay-Z time. See, y'all just don't understand. It's a chess move. This is a chess move is what it is. All the chess move Negroes, you can't find them anymore. All the Jay-Z chess move Negroes. Now you've got the dope smoking, weed smoking, boho chicks and hotep hobos telling you that Kanye West going down the tubes is yet another chess move. See what it is, brother. You don't understand the brilliance of the move. See, that's the thing right there. See, you fellas don't understand. See, what Kanye is going to do is he's going to gather up all his shoes, put them in the 18-wheeler, and then he's going to go on Amazon. Amazon won't take him. eBay won't take it. He'll start his own website, and he's going to sell them online is what it's going to be. And he's going to get to keep all the money now. And what about all the partnerships you've lost? Understand something. The NBA isn't what it is because of the NBA. The NBA is what it is because of partnerships. There are a bunch of people here who talk about things. They don't know what the hell they're talking about. They've been watching them for decades and are completely oblivious to it. So all the crack babies and lead pipe babies, let me explain something to you. Next time you're at home with your mom, slap her in the mouth with her WIC voucher. When you're watching a fight on HBO, when you're watching Mayweather do his thing, Mayweather doesn't get hundreds of millions of dollars, and HBO and them don't do these fights because of Mayweather. They do it because of partnerships. They do it because they form partnerships with major corporations. Budweiser, General Motors, MGM Grand. The UFC, Dana White talked about this damn near 20 years ago, that the UFC being what it is today is a result of what they were able to do when Meyerowitz originally owned the UFC, it was seen as too disreputable. It was bare knuckle fighting. They couldn't get sponsorships. They couldn't get partnerships. The Fertittas come in, station casinos, they buy it, they take over. First order of business is start making partnerships. So we get Budweiser, we get General Motors, we get GNC Foods. Next you start going to, you get Reebok. That's how you get the big money coming in. And so you go to the internet with a bunch of brain dead know-nothings telling you that Kanye has made partnerships with damn me Adidas, as you all pronounce it. I will try to refrain from the original German, but Adidas. No disrespect, Mr. Adi, but Adidas. And he's made partnerships with them. So let me get this straight. Michael Jordan, according to these brainhead boneheads, understand how contradictory they are. Michael Jordan didn't get rich because of a partnership with Nike. Well, Michael Jordan needs to make his own shoes. Well, then Michael Jordan would have to get entree into all these places that Nike got from the beginning. Now, we can talk about the primacy of white folk and whatnot and them having the game sewn up, but the bottom line is Michael Jordan's brand would not be what it is today without Nike's muscle behind it. And everybody who's come since, Shaq, Kobe, LeBron, all of them are a result of being able to partner with these bigger entities. You don't have to reinvent the wheel. By partnering with these other people, you get synergy and you're getting access to money that you otherwise wouldn't simply by having partnerships. And got dumbasses to, well, I mean, that worked for Michael Jordan and Kobe Bryant and LeBron James, but Kanye can bypass that there. Boy, I'm telling you, it's one thing to be ignorant. It's another thing to be ignorant on rocket fuel and then to get in front of the whole world and express how dumb you really are and then have a bunch of Negroes sitting there co-signing, ooh, I like that. That sounds good right there. There's a reason why you are sitting where you are and Michael Jordan's sitting where he's at and Floyd Mayweather is sitting where he's at. People, you don't make the really big money without these partnerships. That's why Kanye was pursuing these partnerships as long and diligently as he was, because he knew that's what unlocks the big money. You get mobbed up with other big money people. Folks, I just gave you example after example. The NBA, the NFL, the UFC, Mayweather in boxing, Michael Jordan. You don't make the big money without partnerships. You don't make it. You don't make the big money without partnerships. And if we can rob you of those partnerships, then we can rob you of everything else. The big money come rolling in when you get other folk to partner with you. When they all sign on. Disney doesn't sit up here and put out toys. Not like you think they do. Disney doesn't do that. Disney gets together with other people. Y'all have seen it. Taco Bell and Pizza Hut. When they bring out a Buzz Lightyear thing, Disney gets together with them. They leverage partnerships. Yes, they own the intellectual property, but they leverage partnerships. Other people are like, hey man, we will spend the money for you to bring this thing to market. There's a reason why you sitting there puffing on your damn bong and got some female sitting up here with her food stamps credit card and her WIC voucher, and the both of you are trying to sound smart. If you like what you're hearing tonight and you understand that somebody's finally talking with some sanity here, hit the likes button for me. Give me a thumbs up in the chat room if you all understand that partnerships are how these people get filthy rich and wealthy. Give me a thumbs up in the chat room and hit the likes button for me. Don't be sitting up here hating. If this is the first time you heard it, don't be resentful that somebody is saying this in unapologetic, brutal language to you. It's about damn time the truth was stated. The dumbest people in the room have been saying the dumbest stuff in the room now for over a week. You don't get wealthy like Ari Emanuel by yourself. You get wealthy by leveraging and creating partnerships with other people. with people on bigger levels. And that gives you entree to bigger things, because today you got a partnership with Adidas. Tomorrow you're going to have a partnership with Reebok and Nike. And all of them are going to be footing the bill. When you get to a certain point, you now get to dictate the terms to them. And it's not like he was going home broke or nothing. He's still on the come up. He's still on the grind. He's still got to make his bones. How's that going to work now? You see, what you have are a bunch of folks who are making a wage, and they're trying to tell you what a billionaire, used to be billionaire, should be doing. You don't have a problem with Kanye West suffering a 99% dilution of his value. In other words, he'll be at the same level as you. You sitting up talking about, what's wrong with that? There's everything in the damn world wrong with it. If you were worth over $1 billion, there's everything wrong with that. That ain't no chess move. Let me be very, very clear. Kanye is operating at a much higher level than me. Dude, I can say things you can't say. Don't say something that gets you stuck where Jason is. You can be on the team. That's great. That's wonderful. But don't sit up here and sabotage it. I can do things you can't do. I would never advise you to do that. But to these other folks out here who quiet as kept, you are just low-key hating your ass off. What's wrong with Kanye ending up where I am? Because he shouldn't be sitting on the couch with an Xbox controller and your size 16 mammy girlfriend. That's the reason why. That's the reason why. That ain't no chess move. To turn $1 million into $1 billion. That's a chess move. Chess is where you gain something. Chess is where you improve. Chess is where you elevate. To take $1 million and turn it into $1 billion is a chess move. To take $1 billion and to turn it into $20 million, where the hell did you learn to play chess at? If you're calling that a chess move, tell me, where in the hell are y'all learning how to play chess at? Who is teaching y'all how to play chess? Mr. Magoo? Some of you talking about chess moves, you got to be the worst chess players in the history of board games. You ain't playing chess. You're not even playing tic-tac-toe. You're playing Three Blind Mice. Who the hell told you that was a chess move? Who the hell defined chess to you? What the hell is your definition of chess? What the hell? He playing a chess move. It's a chess move. It's a chess move. Is it really now? Tell me where the chess move is. Folks, you thought it was bad before. You thought it was bad before with Balenciaga and all the other stores that have been dropping his stuff. People, we're getting reports that Goodwill is like, yeah, you can't give us a used pair of Yeezys. We good. Think about that for a moment. Folks, next stop, Salvation Army. Now, like I say, this has been getting reported by outlets because there's these things going around. Now, I'm not going to give it, I'm going to take it with a grain of salt. I am going to say that now, but there have been folk who've been reporting on it. I'm going to take it with a grain of salt. I'll take it with a grain of salt here, but there was a flyer that's been going around. And like I say, I'll take it with a grain of salt. I do consider it to be an interesting thing. there. But they're talking about, yeah, effective immediately. Folks, I don't know what to tell you. All Yeezy products are to go straight to the trash bin in the blue bags daily when found. Do not collect separately or in any other form. Do not send Yeezy products to e-commerce. E-commerce will not sell any Yeezy product online. I don't know. I am saying I'll be damned if it's true. Still checking into it, but I'll be damned if it's true. I'll be damned if it's true. There are lessons to be learned here. There are lessons to be learned here. That's what's going on now. That's what's going on now. All the chess move people can't tell us where the chess move is. Well, you see, it's a good thing. See, you don't need to be sending it to Goodwill. By getting folks to not send it there, what you are doing is sending the signal of the increased value of nigga. Please. Please. Who in the hell taught you to play chess? So you just gonna sit here and every time an L comes in, you're just gonna declare, another win. Look at it, y'all. Another win. We winning again. Another win. When you're dealing with delusional people, that's a problem. When you're dealing with delusional people, that's a problem. That's how far it's going. Let me explain to you here what the issue is. The issue is you don't know what the hell chess or strategy is. You don't know that. You don't know it. Let me explain to you, to the dumbasses talking about Jewish people and whatnot. It doesn't matter how you feel about it. If you are at war or if you see yourself as at war, I want everyone here, anyone who studied the 48 laws of power, the art of war, or anything like that. What is the number one rule of warfare according to Sun Tzu himself? What is the number one rule of warfare? In the 48 laws of power, what is all warfare based on? All effective warfare is based on one word, some chick named Star. I'm going to give it to you, ma'am. You must have been reading it. Some chick named Star. Fellas, that's a female who knows what she's talking about. Get at her. Yes, all warfare is based on deception. All warfare, all effective warfare is based upon deception. If your enemy knows exactly what you're thinking, and if your enemy knows exactly what you're gonna do, then your enemy is gonna be able to shut you down 100% of the time. Dumbasses on Twitter who have nothing to hold and nothing to defend telling Kanye, that's right, you tell them exactly what you thinking, Kanye. That's right, you tell him exactly what you thinking. And I'll be damned, the moment he opened his mouth listening to your bum ass, he got shut down. She got shut down. In the art of war, Sun Tzu's art of war, he sat there through his generals and told you all effective warfare is based upon deception. It's based upon your ability to deceive. It is based upon the enemy thinking one thing when you know something else. Now, how many of you idiotic wannabe chess players missed that rule? How many of the clowns talking about this is a chess move, this violates that rule? You can't win a war when your adversary knows everything you're thinking and everything you're gonna do. How many of you clowns talking about this is a chess move missed that rule? You never expose what you think to your enemy. You never expose to your enemy what you're thinking. And yet you clowns talking about, yep, go ahead and tell him. That's right, Kanye, you tell him. Now y'all see why black movements don't make it most of the time. That's the real reason that black so-called movements don't make it most of the time. Because these clowns talking about chess moves, these are the folks who vote Democrat. and who are in charge of quote unquote strategizing for us. Roland Martin, you ain't never got to worry about wondering what's behind that big ass coconut head of his. He's gonna tell you everything he's thinking, such as thought is. You're sitting up telling us the chess move is go in the door to people you're hostile to. Tell them exactly what you're thinking. Walk right up to their face and tell them what you think. Tell them what you're planning. Tell them what's going on. These other folks never do that with us. You might suspect they're white supremacists or not. You don't find out they are until somebody leaks a tape. You don't find out who they are until somebody leaks some audio. Dog the Bounty Hunter. You don't find out what they think until somebody leaks a tape. Papa John's. You don't find out what they think. Not at all. Paula Deen. This is foreign to you. You don't find out what them folk think until somebody leaks some audio somewhere. Don't have to worry about what black folk think here. Don't worry. All you gotta do is make that Negro upset. He's gonna come storming into your office and tell you literally everything he knows. If you want to know why black folk get fired from their job and the white manager that they're upset with doesn't, it's because black folk go in there all emotional. That's right, you go in there and tell them, honey child. And then everyone knows who you like and who you don't. Everyone knows who you're cool with and who you're not. So the manager that you're not cool with, the manager you got beef with, the manager you got problems with, that you wish you could get rid of, they end up getting rid of you every time because they're already on to you because they know to watch out for you because you done run your damn mouth to everybody. You let everybody in the building. I don't like that bastard. I let everybody know I don't like him. I don't give a damn. I can get me another job. I'ma let them know I don't like your ass to begin with. Well, you could have gotten them kicked out of the company altogether, but you've violated the first law, the first rule of war. You're not practicing deception. They can see you. They can see you. They can see your animosity. Y'all are letting broke, failed Negroes tell you how to strategize. Negroes who never had a win. They getting their asses beat with an unemployment check every day of the week and telling you, don't worry, I'm in charge of setting up the chess strategy. Prepare to lose daily. That's why you're not able to get rid of them and they're able to get rid of you. You're never able to move them and they are always able to move you. If I'm telling the truth, give me a damn thumbs up in the chat room. If you don't like what I'm hearing and I'm upsetting you, I'm going to go ahead and shut it down early tonight. We're not going to play no games. I'm telling you about how to fail or succeed at chess moves. Not saying what we think, saying what it is. You are either going to fail or succeed at the chess move. What is a successful chess move? You know what a successful chess move looks like? I'll tell you what a successful chess move looks like. A successful chess move looks like this. A successful chess move looks like this. Elon Musk is now the owner of Twitter. He now owns it. Twitter is now Musker. And let me tell you, a bunch of folks there who up until now have been able to shut people down and control the conversation and silence folk, oh boy, they are nuts. You know why? Let me explain to you why this was a masterful move on the part of Elon Musk. Because what you have done is you have bought intellectual heritage. You've bought intellectual heritage. This isn't just a company. This is the American town square. It is intellectual heritage. It is where both older and young people meet. It is where everybody who is who's who has an entity and a presence in. And now Elon owns it. Lock, stock, and barrel. Now he owns it. That's a chess move. That's what a real chess move looks like. That's why it's such a foreign thing to a bunch of other folks. This is what a real chess move looks like. It looks like this. And you know why it looks like this? Because Twitter cannot be easily replaced. You can't easily replace your Twitter presence. There's a reason that Donald Trump and them were going to court and everything. You can't easily replace. It takes years and years and years to build up a Twitter presence. You can't replace that if they shut that down. Your following isn't, unless you just have a rabid following, they're not going to follow you from one place to another like that. You got to be the top of the top to get your following to just follow you like that. If they get rid of your Twitter presence that took you years and years to build, most of the folk who are following you are going to go somewhere else. They're going to go somewhere else. You can't get rid of your Twitter presence and rebuild it somewhere else like anything else. You can't do that. So what Elon has done is he's shown them, yeah, they hate it, but that's what it is. This is going to be what it's going to be. Now I want to go through this article right here from the Hollywood Reporter, and I want to show you some idiots out there responding like you Kanye people. The article says celebrities are beginning to quit Twitter, or claim they are at least, now that Elon Musk has taken over the popular social media platform. Did you get that very first sentence? He couldn't even lie straight. Celebrities are beginning to quit Twitter, or claim they are at least. So even the writer of the article wants to hate, but you got to understand he got to watch what he says. You better watch what you say now, because you looking at the new boss. And just like Twitter rigged the old algorithm against people they didn't like, what if Elon decides, you know what? I said it's going to be an open space, but let me rig this algorithm just a little. I mean, this is the guy who rigs his cars so that if you do a repair on the car that they don't authorize, it won't charge up at their charging stations. Have you all thought of that ever for a moment? Elon Musk is such a free market person that go take a look at the YouTube channel Rich Rebuilds. He's been talking about that for years. If you try to do repairs on their car that they don't authorize, they can lock your car out of their charging network. You really think he's about freedom of movement? He's about freedom of movement, really? Really? Is he now? Is he now? Now that you've had a chance to think that over, you gonna tell me about what he's not gonna do? You're gonna tell me what he's not going to do or what he wouldn't do? You better think again. The article goes on to say, quote, not hanging around for whatever Elon Musk has planned, by tweeted Grey's Anatomy creator and producer mogul Shonda Rhimes to her 1.9 million followers on Saturday. You ain't gotta believe me. I'll show it to you. There she is. She's telling you, okay, not hanging around for whatever Elon has planned, by. Now you all know how this goes. If they call, they ain't coming. And if they're coming, they ain't calling. If they're going to get off Twitter, they ain't going to talk about it. They going to be about it. She's sitting here bumping her gums for attention. You just vetting and every damn thing else, baby. You ain't going to give up those 1.9 million followers, assuming that most of them are real. You ain't going to give that up. Baby, you sitting up here bluffing. You selling wolf tickets, you ain't going to give it up. But she's sitting up here with this powerless venting. She is powerless, but she's venting on this man's social network. Cause you know you ain't going no damn where. I'm out of here, declared This Is Us executive producer Ken Olin to his 300,000 followers on Friday after previously pledging, quote, the day Elon Musk takes ownership of Twitter, I'm out. No judgment, he added. Let's keep the faith. Let's protect our democracy. Let's try to be kinder. He said a bunch of other things here. There's one more thing that Mr. Ken Olin has not said to you all that I'm going to say to you right now about him, Shonda Rhimes, and the others. He said, hey, y'all, I'm out of here. No judgment. One more thing. If he's out of there, why is his account still active? Oh, yeah. Jason Black got one more question. If he really is out of here, why is his account still active? Why is his account still active? His account is still active right now. So is Shonda Rhimes' account. Her account is still active right now. You know why? Because Elon has pulled the chess move. Can you replace your reach on Elon's? Can you replace the reach you have on Twitter with somewhere else? Elon has got your following. You can leave Twitter, but can you promise me that your following will leave with you? You can leave Twitter, but can you promise that the following will leave with you? In the chat room, Mike, what you're making is a moot point, by the way, that doesn't matter. But I'm going to address that in a moment. So you think you have a point, but you actually don't. I'm going to get to that in just a moment. Now all of a sudden they're going to start trying to walk it backwards. Too late, caught you. You think you have a point, you really don't. But don't worry, I'm going to get to that. Way ahead of you. Way, way, way ahead of you. Now, when I got up this morning, I went to go see what was trending on Twitter. I'll be damned what was trending on Twitter. So on my Twitter feed, it showed me that the Jews and Black Twitter were trending. Gave numbers to it too. So it told me this was what was trending on Twitter today. I'm sitting there like, okay, things done changed. Very quickly to see that. Things done changed. Wasn't very hard to sort that out, but things done changed around here. All right, I get it. I get it. No, ain't nothing changed. Everything's the same, isn't it? No, it's all right. No, you see, when you're in a position of power, what people do is they start venting. When you're in a position of power, you can't take nothing from Elon. You can't take nothing from it. Your followers will still be on Twitter just the way when they got rid of Donald Trump and all them right-wingers, their followers still stayed on Twitter. Now, some of them left, but those followers are not going to give up their Twitter accounts too. Their followers are not going to give up their accounts too. So we know you bluffing. We know you're bluffing. You know why? Because you would have to get the hardcore celebrities, the celebrities who are always on the outside of everything. You'd have to get Cardi B and Nicki Minaj and all of them to say, yeah, we're leaving Twitter. You see, that's what destroys a social media platform. Is when your celebrities, the people who have fan bases, start getting up in groups and saying we're leaving. Not some over-the-hill TV producer. Nobody's going to quit Twitter because Shonda Rhimes is leaving. They'll quit Twitter when their favorite rapper, their favorite singer, their favorite movie star, who they just got to stay in touch with, they'll quit Twitter when they leave. They'll quit Twitter when they leave. But until then, they ain't going nowhere. They're not going anywhere at all. I want to send a shout out here to Simply Sandra, Burn Rubber, and everybody else who has contributed to support tonight's program here by PayPal, Cash App, or Super Chat. Thank you very much for your support here because we're cooking with napalm tonight. I'm defining chess moves. People, do you know the ultimate form of power? The ultimate form of power is the people who hate you sitting in your presence, yelling and screaming, and then you say, good, now get back to work. And they go back to work. Elon knows you ain't going no damn where. Elon knows that. People, he's not sitting in the catbird seat. He's sitting in the pimp chair. He's not worried about that. You ain't going nowhere. You're not going anywhere. You gonna yell, you gonna scream, you gonna vent, you're gonna make a show of it because you have to. And when it's over, you gonna go back to picking the cotton. Because you have no choice. Case in point here, just in case you didn't think I was on top of this here, Mike. Just in case you thought you were early to the party. For those of you who didn't know, LeBron James responded to the fact that there was a report that was put out by some social media research group, I'm going to get to that in a moment here, that says that use of the N-word has increased by 500% since Elon took over. I'm like, really? Has it really been even a day or two yet? LeBron James said, I don't know Elon Musk, and to be honest, I could care less who owns Twitter. Did you see that part? I don't know Elon Musk, and to be honest, I could care less who owns Twitter. Shonda, carry your ass. Nobody cares. Nobody cares what you're thinking. Because the people who build Twitter, the people who bring the audience to Twitter, the people who really matter, he is literally telling you in no uncertain terms, I don't know Elon and I don't care. Shonda, you care about Elon. The folk who drive traffic to Twitter do not care. They don't care. So you can sit here and wring your hands and every damn thing else. The folks who drive the traffic don't care who Elon Musk is. And then listen to what LeBron James said. But I will say, if this is true, that use of the N-word is shot up by 500%, I hope he and his people take this very seriously, because this is scary AF. So many damn unfit people saying hate speech is free speech. Okay, the real question is, LeBron, you shutting down your Twitter account? No, I say whatever you want. Okay, say whatever you want. Now, if you couldn't notice here, I want you to pay attention. Now, for those of you who didn't actually check into this, because I could be bothered to do so, this is the original tweet that people were going off of from Philip Lewis. And it says, Elon Musk's Twitter takeover sparked a surge in the use of the N-word on the social media platform. A social media research group told the Washington Post the use of the slur increased by nearly 500%. Wait. Hold on. Who said what? Who said what? A social media research group told the Washington Post. Wait. Who owns the Washington Post? Why did they go to the Washington Post? Why didn't you go to the New York Times, the Washington Times, San Francisco Chronicle? Why the New York Post? Why did you go to the Washington Post? Oh, wait a minute. Now I remember. Because the Washington Post is owned by Elon Musk's biggest, most bitter rival, Jeff Bezos. Jeff Bezos at this point has filed like over a dozen lawsuits against Elon Musk. Jeff Bezos was supposedly the richest man in the world. Elon Musk came and slapped him right off the damn pedestal, and Jeff Bezos, his Blue Origin company, can't get the traction that SpaceX does. He's been bitter as hell ever since. So if you're looking for somebody who will gladly say anything negative, anything harmful, anything hateful about Elon Musk, Jeff Bezos is the person you go to see. He isn't even gonna vet it. He's just gonna print it. N-word use increases by 500% on Elon Musk's Twitter. Women to do much worse on Elon Musk's Twitter. Christmas will be canceled on Elon Musk's Twitter. 3-year-olds will have their left feet chopped off on Elon Musk's Twitter. He ain't gonna vet nothing. If it makes Elon look bad, if it sounds bad, Jeff is gonna be like, print it first and investigate it second. Okay, let's print this article first, just so it's out there, and then we'll vet it second, and I'll let you know if we messed up or not. So yeah, isn't that amazing? A social media research alleged firm goes to Elon Musk's biggest enemy and says, hey, according to us, use of the N-word has gone up by 500%. Now, first of all, I want to ask you a question. Do you think I care? Do you think it bothers me? Do you think that I care if the use of the N-word has increased 500% or 5,000%? No. You know why? People, there's a million damn words. I would rather have an honest white supremacist. We talking chess moves. I would rather have an honest white supremacist who comes out and wears their banner and their colors openly. Why are we pushing them into the shadows? Let them come on out. Let them come on out and say what they gonna say. Don't say it with your chest, say it with your gut. Say it from the gut. Say it from the soul if you got one. Let them come out and say it exactly the way they gonna say it. I didn't condemn Dr. Laura Schlesinger. I said I want my enemies in the open. Why the hell are we pushing them into the shadows? I want my enemies in the open because you see, I've seen people who play stupid chess moves. Speaking from their emotions. You catch them when they're emotional and then they say exactly what the hell it is they're thinking. When we get somebody who says exactly what the hell it is they think, that's what the hell you want. I want them to say it openly. I want them to say it openly. I want you to give them a platform. Go ahead and let them say it. Why the hell we push them into the shadows? Let them say it. Let them say it. I'm good. It ain't gonna hurt me. I'm good. I want to know who's up. I don't want them to be hidden. I want to know. I want to know who it is. Make this easy for me. Make this easy for me. Tell them come on out and say it the way they really think and don't hide a damn thing. That don't bother me. Some of y'all, if a white person calls you nigga, you just melt like the Wicked Witch of the West. They said, oh, my whole year's ruined. Man, if you think that's gonna hurt me, bother me, anything else, now if you up in my face, there might be consequences. I can't guarantee you. I know what my reaction will be indifference. I just don't know I know what's gonna happen to me. You run up in my face, you sitting up here talking about nigga this, nigga that. What's gonna happen to me will be indifference. Now, what's gonna happen to you? Jury is out. What's gonna happen to me is nothing. What's gonna happen to you, on the other hand, jury is out on that one, my man. The jury is out on that one. Can't tell you. It could go either which way. Now, Elon Musk has been making his electric cars now for about 20 years. Elon Musk has been doing his thing as a business person now, going on 20 years. Elon Musk has said nothing about his politics. He hasn't said anything about his politics. He hasn't told you about what he really thinks up until recently, when his paper has been so damn thick, when he's got contracts with the Department of, with NASA and the U.S. government and every damn thing else, when his money is so damn thick and so damn entrenched, you simply cannot move it. And even then, the most he has said is, well, I don't really agree with what these folks over here talking about. That's all he's had to do. He hasn't sat up here and told you what he thinks of anybody, with the exception of Jeff Bezos. Now, he's let you know he ain't cool on him. He don't really rock with Jeff like that. But as far as how he feels about anything else, he ain't told you nothing. You looked up one damn day, all these left-wingers and stuff. Oh, we love electric cars. We're going to get rid of the electric car in California. We're going to get rid of internal combustion engines in California. Elon Musk promises us that he can make enough electric cars now to replace the internal combustion engine, which is a damn lie. He cannot do it. And you know he can't. But he sat back quiet in the cut. He has amassed so much power that by the time he actually did make his move, you couldn't do nothing about him. By the time he actually decided to make his move, there was nothing you could do. That was it. You can write all the articles you want to. You can talk all the trash you want to. You can say whatever it is. You can say that he's opening up a platform to hate speech. In other words, they're talking about him the same way that they're talking about Kanye, except they can put boots and gloves all over Kanye's head and they can't touch Elon. That is a chess move. The very people talking crap are going to be on Elon's website trying to do it. But you know what they won't be able to do? They ain't going to be able to stop him. Now compare Kanye's quote unquote, if you dare call it that, because it's not a strategy, it's an outburst. Compare Kanye's quote strategy to Elon's strategy. Compare the two. Compare Kanye's strategy to Elon's strategy. Now, compare Kanye's results, because that's all that really matters. Compare Kanye's results to Elon's results. There were a bunch of you raised by a bunch of snaggle-toothed, bug-eyed, nasty-ass hood rats, and you're used to operating like hoes from the hood, running out in the street. Anybody you got an issue with, you yelling, you screaming, you cussing, you banging on they damn doors, you getting arrested, you sitting up here yanking out hair weaves, you're sitting up here running over folk in cars, you're making a public spectacle because you've been taught that's what you do. And now every damn body on the block and around the city knows what's on your damn mind because you can't control yourself. You can't control yourself. Yeah, no wonder you think Kanye blowing himself up is a chess move. My mama would do it. Okay, where's your mama at? Well, why we gotta talk about WIC vouchers? All right. Yeah, of course you think that's a chess move. In your project housing, that's a chess move. Although you wasn't winning either. You wasn't winning either. I'm talking to you tonight straight about how to fail or succeed at chess moves. If you're going to call something a chess move, then it's got to really be a chess move. It can't be you just throwing words around. Is this truly a chess move? I should be able to take a look at your results and see the move. I should see that this is the move when I look at your results. The results should tell me, hey, chess move, locked in. Chess move, locked in. There are so many folks here who don't understand any of this. You had jackasses talking about Kanye getting his partnerships canceled has allowed him to reclaim control of these things. First of all, you don't know that. There could be all kinds of penalties in his contracts. So once again, ignorant ass dumbasses on the internet just typing things. Doesn't matter if what they're saying is true or not. They're just typing stuff to try to tell you it's a chess move, because in reality what they're saying is, good, Kanye, you gonna end up back down here with me. Well, what did Kanye gain? He was trolling them people, and somebody needs to troll him. Dude, this nigga ain't gonna be talking about it in a week. What the hell? They ain't gonna be talking about it. You gotta understand, the bastard babies and all the Project Ghetto Hood Rat kids, they're on Twitter typing away, never had a win, telling you these are chess moves. Got to be the dumbest chess players in the history of board games. Chess move. Don't you worry, just like Obama. That's what these folk really want to say. See, you don't understand. Just like Obama. See, you got to give him time. Obama is making a chess move. First term is over. Didn't do nothing for black folk. Don't worry, it's a chess move. He gonna really do something for us in the second term. Remember all the folk who said that? That Obama was making a chess move. Remember that? All the folk who said that Obama was making a chess move. Remember them? Don't worry, Obama's really gonna do something for black folk in the second term. Remember all those second term chess people? I do. Do you all remember them? Then the second term came. See, he gonna do something for black folk now. Roland Martin and the rest of them. Second term came and went. Obama said, man, you niggas better lump it on your own. Then you had the real stupid folk, and when the second term was coming to an end, they started saying, well, don't worry. Obama is really gonna do something for black folk after he gets out of office. Remember those idiots? Do you all remember those ignoramuses? Remember them? Well, don't worry. Obama really gonna do something for black folks after he gets out of office. You just watch. By the way, how'd that work out? Yeah, you all remember them folk. The first term liars, the second term liars, and then the after he gets out of office liars. By the way, how'd that turn out? How did that go? Did he ever get around to doing anything? Oh yeah, he never did, except talking down to black folk. He did do that. He did figure out how to do that. Talking about a chess move. Yeah, there were Negroes back then talking about that was a chess move. That he needed to go into office, do nothing for black folk, do something for everybody else, including the police, exit office, and that was the chess move. Obama going into office and doing nothing for black folk. Some of y'all are dealing with severe brain damage issues. Then you got an internet connection selling to other folk. So when somebody does show you a real chess move, you talking about, man, there ain't no chess move right there. The real chess move would be if Elon Musk lost everything he had. That would be the real chess move. I mean, seriously. Think that over. Think that over. This is how these folks are thinking. This is seriously what the hell they got going on, and saying this in public. This is the chess move. This gonna be the chess move. You don't understand a real chess move when you see it. Don't worry, this is Kanye on his way to bigger and better things. He's lost half of his net worth. That don't matter. He can get it back tomorrow. He can't. You see, just by him having that partnership with Adidas, that was $500 million in value just by itself. Just having that relationship, just having that partnership by itself, it's so hard to come by. It's so difficult to do. That was the reason he pursued it. He chased it. He wanted it. He wanted it because that was what increased his value, and now you lost it. And then you will have the bottom of the barrel, the kids who chew their toenails and eat the crayons, telling us this is a chess move. Not only are the relationships gone, they are precluding him from having any others. Kanye is back stuck in the rap music ghetto. The only people he can have relationships now and do anything with are the very same rappers that he was trying to get above. He already had relationships with them people. Kanye isn't gonna sell any more albums. He's not gonna sell twice as many albums as he sold last time. Only some ignorant ass buffoon sitting in front of their TV with the government cheese thinks that. You don't know a damn thing. It's not like he's gonna sell twice as many albums now. He's already sold as many albums as he's going to sell. He's got to diversify into other industries and other lines now. That's the whole damn point. This is very simple to understand. He's got to diversify into something else. Now they've cut him off from that. Now it's just him and the rappers that he was already dealing with. It's him and the rappers he was already dealing with. So that's all he gonna have. You can sit there with them. And by the way, that's not really gonna help. There were some dumbasses talking about, well, Kanye can still do his music. First of all, now you're coming up here with coping mechanisms. We need Kanye to do much more than music. We need our black folk to be doing more than just one thing. We got to diversify. Everybody else is making wealth diversifying. We got to be able to do more than one thing. You solidify yourself in one field, and then you take that money and use that as venture capital to go off and explore other fields. This is how you build up. This is how you create an empire and build up. And we need Kanye to do that. But now if they got you sitting up here segregated and isolated, if Kanye wants to go on a concert tour today, you do realize he can't do it, right? To the dumbasses and boneheads on Twitter, every time we show you where he's lost another avenue, he's lost another bit, there it goes. Now he's getting lawsuits put against him. Now he's got lawsuits against him. Some of the white folk with that Donda school thing, now they filing lawsuits. And you gonna say this is the chess move, right? If Kanye wants to go on a concert tour, most of these venues are gonna be like, no thanks. And even if he could, how is he gonna make it pop without Live Nation? How is he gonna make it pop without these big sponsors? How you gonna make it pop? That's the only way it's been happening before. He could always count on those partnerships. To the dunderheads on Twitter who don't know that this all works through partnerships. You can be a local rapper talking to 200 or 300 people in a pool hall somewhere without the connections Kanye got. You can't chart like Kanye, sell like Kanye, get access to Tidal and all these platforms. You can't do that without being mobbed up. You got to have them connections. So now if he wants to, even if he decides he wants to go on tour, How's he going to do it with venues telling him, yeah, we good. We don't need you. Your money is no good here. The lead pipe babies on Twitter trying to explain away this nonsense. You don't sound very bright. It doesn't work. Every time he takes another lawsuit, this is the chess move. He's lost another deal. Chess move. He lost Adidas. Chess move. Goodwill is kicking him out. Chess move. He's not able to make any, he can't get a concert venue to say, yes, that's okay. What Kanye needs to do is build his own arena. Kanye needs to build his own arena, and then he needs to do a concert every weekend. Nigga, what? See, you ain't taking a look at it how it really need to be, though. Man, are you psycho? What the hell? But invariably, there will be some folks out there who disagree. What I'm going to do is I'm going to open the phone lines to all the chess move people. I'm not even going to say nothing. I'm going to give each of you 60 seconds to make your case. You got 60 seconds to explain how all of this is, that if you were a business owner, show me any other example of another business owner anywhere that this is what he did to increase his earnings and to increase his value. And after you concede that nobody's ever done it, you'll then tell us Kanye going broke, that's okay. Kanye losing it and going broke doesn't mean that Kanye will be penniless. That's not what it means. What it means is that his ability to generate the income that he's been doing at the level that he has, that has been cut off like Bill Cosby, like O.J. Simpson, like R. Kelly. But I'm going to give you anybody, all the Kanye chess move people. You can go ahead and take the bong out of your mouth. You can stop rubbing on your mama's rear end if you can there. And we're going to open up the telephone lines. And you can explain to everybody what the chess move is here. That now we've had a week to digest this. Things have gone from bad to catastrophic. But you can explain to us how this is a winning, not it could be. I want you to explain how it is. Give us the business strategy that we can look at and observe that's been done before that demonstrates that exactly what's happening to him, that this is business strategy. This is the chess move. This is winning. This is Kanye getting ahead. Before I do that, I want to thank everyone who has contributed to support tonight's program here on PayPal, Cash App, Super Chat. So my girl Brenda Starr, Mark B, Najee Chadwick, everybody else who has contributed to the program here tonight, thank you very much for your support. Appreciate that. We're going to take a very brief commercial, non-commercial break. When we come back, your phone calls to explain the chess move. This is the Black Channel.
Are you tired of being overcharged and forced into paying a monthly subscription for your Mac and Windows software? Well, if you are, currently we're having a 50% off discount on all the latest Mac and Windows software, such as AutoCAD, SolidWorks, Photoshop, Microsoft Office, and much more. Our 50% off discount will be ending soon, so be sure to text us NEED SOFTWARE to 323-407-8214. That's 323-407-8214. We aim to please, so expect 24/7 technical support. The latest premium software, instant software links delivered to your email, and PayPal's buyer's protection guarantee.
When you need a reliable influx of capital to grow your business, Spectre Capital Finance provides fast, individualized working capital loans with lines of credit to take your business to the next level. SpectreCapitalFinance.com.
Hey, I'm Marcus. For a while, I walked around with this empty feeling inside. I had a full-time job, but not in the field I wanted to be in. But then I came across this book where it was like, the title was just for me. Guide to Being Black in IT. I read the book and the author took me through scenarios and gave me tips. I sat down and read it and it only took an hour. After I got done, I took advice in the book, practiced in the labs, and got certified. Then I literally got up and applied for a position with this company I've been looking at for a while and got the job. Thanks to that book, I worked my job with confidence. If you're looking to get into IT or even in the field, now this is a must-read book. Go to www.beingblackInIT.com.
I am black first. I am empowered. I am on code. I am motivated. I am a proud foundational. My name is Maria Sellers, and nothing will come between us. Buy the sci-fi novel, Nothing Will Come Between Us. Order today at Amazon and Google Play. Visit spiritofo1811publishing.com. Our story, our family.
Join 6zeros.net, a forum built to discuss all things relevant to black people. On our forum, a check doesn't mean you're famous. It means your blackness has been verified by our staff. Sorry, Chad. We also have premium merchandise with same-day shipping on most orders. And when you're ready for some dope content, check out the 0 Hour blog. Don't just sign up, post. I'm having a really good time with you tonight.
I'm having a good time with you too.
Want to go somewhere private? Just for us?
I like that.
Great. Meet me at 6zeros.net. Black owned, black operated.
Hi, this is Brenda Starr, creator of Poetry with a Purpose and author of the book Pressed But Not Crushed. Pressed But Not Crushed is an anthology of political poems that address current and historical issues in American descendants of slave population and African American population. The book describes slaveries and its residuals, Jim Crow segregation, social depredation, and other relevant issues to American descendants of slaves and African Americans, including the current political climate that does not address our issues.
This is the Black Channel. I am your host, your brother, your humble servant, the Black Authority. Very glad to be with you all here this evening. And the telephone lines are now open. The number is 646-787-1933. That's 646-787-1933. Your personal access code to the blackest radio program in existence, the only one of its kind on planet Earth today. As always, you are welcome to join us. And we are taking phone calls from people here now. I've spent the first hour explaining that this is how to fail at chess. However, I'm going to give all the Kanye chess move people a chance to explain. You can go ahead and give us a call in. We're going to give you 60 seconds because that's all you need. You've got a full minute to make your case. As a matter of fact, I'll do you one better. This is going to be painful for those of you with brain cells. I'll do you one better. I'll give you 120 seconds. I'll give you 2 minutes to try to explain in simple language why it is that this is a chess move, to explain where we've seen this previously in business, not a piece of it, but where you can show us previously in the business world that there have been people that this is the strategy you use to build wealth and get ahead. So we're going to give you 2 minutes to explain the chess move. 2 minutes. Folks, I can't make it any more plain than that. I can't make it any more fair than that. I can't make it any more fair than that. It's the chess move. So we're going to go ahead and give you an opportunity to do that. The telephone lines are now open. The number is 646-787-1933. That's 646-787-1933. Your access code to the Black Media We're going to go ahead and take a few phone calls. Let me get caller from area code 678. You're on live with the Black Channel. What's your name? Where you calling from?
Neeran from Stone Mountain, Georgia.
Okay, did you say Neeran from Stone Mountain?
Yes.
All right, what's on your mind?
Okay, the thing that I see with Kanye was that he got to the point where he became a billionaire. The people who have done it before him or has been in his same position has been Prince, of course, Michael Jackson, Muhammad Ali, Dave Chappelle. All of them got to that position and they started to see what happens at that position is that you get drawn out from the people and the rich people tie your hands where you really can't do anything. Yeah, you have a billionaire status or you're a millionaire, but you're still, it's just a status. So you really can't do anything.
What is it that he needs to do that he's not able to do?
Well, think about it. Okay, really not, it's a status. It's a billionaire status.
Right. I asked you a question.
Liquid money.
I asked you a question. I asked you a question, sir. You started stuttering and stumbling. First sign of trouble. I will ask a second time because you made the statement. I'm asking you about your statement. What is it that Kanye wants to do that Kanye is not able to do?
Okay, the same thing that Elon Musk is doing, the same thing that a lot of because even when he was talking about the clothes, he says, I don't have the distribution to be able to come up with my own clothes. I have to partner with all of these other people because they have access to distribution.
Well, yes, sir. That's what you have to do there, especially in the manufacturing industry, which is what that is, unless you've got access to an exclusive plant and then a distribution network, because to scale up and make the money that he's thinking about quickly, you can't do that on your own. Sir, that's the issue. You can't do it on your own. For example, if let's just say that your daughter wants to sell dolls like Barbie, not Barbie dolls because they're trademarked and everything, but let's just say your daughter wants to do that. If she can't get into Walmart, she can't make that money. She can go find $2 or $3 stores, but if her goal is, hey, I want to make Mattel's Barbie money. Oh, well, if you want to do that, then you have to do it the way Mattel is doing it. You have to partner with Walmart and Target and Amazon and these other people. Do you understand now, sir?
Yeah, I understand it. But however, okay, if I'm trying to create the Black Barbie and I partner with Mattel, I become a cog or a screw in Mattel's machine. So when I tell them my idea, they're going to tell me the 100 ways that I cannot do it, or they will not allow me to do it. So it gets me to the point where I'm frustrated and I say, you know something, I don't even want to be with Mattel no more. And matter of fact, I'm going to tell everybody what you all have told me in this meeting. And then what does Mattel do? They say, oh, yeah? All right, go ahead and do that. And I'm going to let the whole world know we're not going to mess with you no more. We don't want nobody to do any business.
But sir, that happens with everybody. That's business. Did you not know that?
Yeah,
sir,
right.
sir, that happens to everybody. That's called business. Did you not know that?
That's what I'm saying. He got his wake up call, but
no, sir. No, that's no, sir. That's not a wake up call, sir. We're not going to do that. That's not a wake up call, sir. What you just described isn't anything special. That's business. Apparently, you didn't know that, or you were unaware. Nothing you described is abnormal. That happens with literally everybody who walks through the door. Have you never watched an episode of Shark Tank, sir?
Of course. I
Okay,
watched Shark Tank.
okay, thank you. If you watched the episode of Shark Tank, tell me where the difference is between Kanye's experience and literally every other person who comes through the door. You're not describing anything special. You're just describing typical business. This is how everybody gets ahead, sir. You didn't know this?
Well, to your analogy with Shark Tank, okay? You said it's just anybody who walks into the door. Okay, so the person who walks into the door with Shark Tank, they give him the deal, they give him the money, but then they start directing him on how to manage that money.
Yes.
That was something that a person who didn't know what happens once they get the deal knows, but now they know it now because the person who went on Shark Tank won the deal has came back and said, hey, I went behind the curtain. It's messed up behind here.
Okay, this is more nigga babble is what this is. This is more prison nigga babble. Folks, let me explain to you what's wrong with what he's saying here because it's probably obvious to most of you. Listen to what he said. Now, if I have an opportunity to get into a room with a billionaire like Mark Cuban or like the rest of them folk up there, if I have an opportunity to sit there at the table with him and break real bread, and Mark says, well, you know, Jason, I like your idea. So here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to put up $20 million and I'm going to take your idea and you and me are going to be partners. Now, once we start partnering here, I'm going to have a say in how things go. Listen to me for just a moment here. You'd be a damn fool. And this sounds how smart you are. You'd be a fool to have an opportunity to work with Mark Cuban and you gonna tell him, well, let me explain to you, Mark, what I know. Dude, you just walked in the door. If you knew how to get this thing popping on your own, you would not need to come through the door and talk to him. You just get to work and get it popping. Furthermore, you will never do as well at making toys as Mattel. You can't do it. You don't know how. Yeah, you need to get mobbed up with Mattel. All this know-it-all niggaism from folks who never execute anything. Yeah, you need to sit next to Mattel. You should be glad if you have a couple of product lines that you can bring to Mattel so that they can sit here and you actually have an opportunity to peek behind the curtain. Asians do that with black people all the time. That's why you got these Asian soul food restaurants. Asians and white folk have done it all the time with us with rap music. First they come in serving us. Next thing you know, they're in charge. As I said, this is what everybody does. It's how you execute it. So if I got a chance to sit down and break bread with Mark Cuban, American Airlines Center, Dallas Mavericks, are you kidding me? I ain't got a damn thing to say to him. I'm going to be sitting there right. Every time you see Mark, you going to see me. Every time he walks out of a door, I'm walking out with him. You damn right. Dude, you're talking like you've got some superior knowledge to any of them. This is crazy. This is just crazy talk. You don't know anything compared to Mark Cuban, Mattel. The only thing you can do is get tutored and mentored and learn. That's all you can do. You're never going to outdo them. You should be glad to have the opportunity to have proximity so you can learn. You talking like you going to pull off something that they never have. And that's literally physically impossible. If you could, why the hell haven't you just gone ahead and done it?
Okay, I'm going to give you one last analogy. The last analogy I'm going to give you is El Chapo. I was just watching it. There comes a time where El Chapo has sat there and learned and listened, and then he's gotten his weight up and he's gotten his money and he's gotten his coin up, and then he's saying, okay, I'm ready, make me a boss. And then the bosses is telling him, no, you still be the chauffeur. But then you end up saying, you know something, they're not going to make me a boss, so I have to do something in order to make myself a boss.
Yes.
I just got to come up with that
strategy. Thank you.
And that's what I feel that.
No, you're wrong.
Saying, okay, well,
you're wrong.
I had zero when I first started, but now I have 200 million now. So I
Okay,
can do something
but
with this 200
no,
million.
you don't challenge big dope dealers as a chauffeur. You challenge them if you've already done the work and got the weight on your own. Which is exactly what I just said. Thank you for proving my point and disproving yours. No, sir, you do not walk. You are not a chauffeur who overthrows the Cali cartel. No, you're not. You got to get your weight up. You don't go ask. For the other thing is, you don't ask them nothing. If you've got the ability to knock them off, by definition, you don't ask. You don't ask for their corners. You don't ask for their territory. You walk in and you take it, which is what he did. Thank you, sir. You proved my point and you just destroyed yours, which is what I've been saying the whole time.
How much money, okay, after everything is said and done, how much money will Kanye?
No, let's go back to El Chapo, the example you just gave. Chapo was not nobody's chauffeur knocking nothing off. He had to get his weight up first. He didn't ask those people for anything. He got it on his own. Well, yeah, if you can do that, then you wouldn't be asking them. The very fact you're coming to ask means you can't do it. Now, do yourself a favor. Just hang up the phone, bro. You're embarrassing yourself. I'm trying to help you now. Literally, everybody's laughing at you. You're embarrassing yourself now. Would you like to just cut it off quick? Or are you determined to tell yourself, if I just keep talking, I'm going to make this work if I just keep talking?
Yeah, you're interrupting me. You said you're going to give me 60 seconds.
No, sir, I'm going to give you 60 seconds right now. And everyone at the end of his 60 seconds, you tell me if he makes one iota more of sense at the end of 60 seconds that he did at the beginning. Show me if anything he's about to say is a game changer. Your 60 seconds. Go.
Okay. Now, Kanye made two analogies in both of his Drink Champs podcast. He talked about the ice box where he was saying there was a whole bunch of ice at the top and he was yelling to everybody, why is nobody telling anybody about this ice at the top? And then he said all of the people in the room said, no, we get it from the bottom. And then he also talked about how, he felt like he was in a glass prison where they had his hands tied and they got all of these people around him. And he would rather be, broke and and be a person who is being all crazy and all of these things. He's going to be like a snowball going down the hill. He'll take it all. He'll take everything because he's not a Jay-Z. He's not an Al Heyman. He can't make the moves like that. He wants to be free.
Your 60 seconds are up.
Here they are? Okay.
Now, y'all, at the end of all his babbling, what has he taught you? Show me how much more prepared are any of you to make a, quote, chess move after all that babbling he just did? After all of that, what did he just prove? What did he do after saying all that? But by the way, I am glad you did do one thing. You exposed exactly what I said. Y'all got to understand, these are a bunch of broke, busted, failed individuals, and they want to see Kanye end up just like them, which is why you notice what he zoomed in on. Well, Kanye said he would rather just be broke again. We don't need any more broke black people. We need black people with resources in positions where they can help other black folk get resources. We don't need any more poor black people. We're overstocked with those. We need black folk who can make moves. I don't want Kanye, quote, down here with us. I need Kanye where he's at so that it will be easier for other folk to get up there. But I'm very glad that you zeroed in on what you really wanted to say, which was, and by the way, Kanye said he'd be okay being broke. Yeah, because every word that's dripping out of your mouth is a formula for him to be like you. And that's why you're encouraging him to do that, because you understand this isn't a pathway to success. This is a pathway to failure where you are. Nothing you said is going to get him to a higher level. Everything you're talking about is, well, it's okay for Kanye to be broke because it's okay for me to be broke. I'm cool with it. I'm not cool with it. Kanye doesn't need to be down here with you.
You're putting words in my mouth.
I'm repeating your words.
$140 million liquid. He's way more richer than he was. I'd rather have the $140 million liquid and be free than be a billionaire and have my hands tied.
By definition, he got the $140 million by what he was doing here before. In part, sir, he could have had $140 billion. He could have had 10 times, according to you.
He doesn't have to be the.
He could have had 10 times.
Man, if he got $140 billion,
sir, he could have been the. He could have had 10. Sir, he could have had 10 times that amount. He could have had. You're sitting up here trying to celebrate over $140 million. He could have had 10 times that amount. Hell, he was worth 10 times that amount 2 weeks ago. He was worth that 2 weeks ago. Do you know this to a dunder?
How did that work,
sir? Do you know this to a sir? Be quiet. Do you know this to a dunderhead like yourself? Kanye literally could have walked into a bank, the ones that now won't talk to him, and said, "Take a look at my assets. My deal with Adidas is an asset. My deal with Balenciaga and whatever is an asset. He can borrow and go in for much more than $140 billion. If he actually built up equity with these other entities, he could go in for much more than that. Shout out Magic Johnson. You guys don't have a clue of how even you all don't have a clue of how even basic business works. And another thing, did you just sit here and say optimum word is borrow?
Borrow, debt.
Okay, what's your point,
sir?
Got
$140 million.
Sir, what's your point?
I can take $140 million liquid and say, "Hey, Jason Black, I got $140 million liquid."
Do you all hear how
stupid?
Do you all hear how stupid this is? And this is why you'll never have $140 million. Did you hear how stupid this is, sir? We don't start businesses with our own money. We start businesses on credit. You have just failed basic finance and economics. There isn't a banker or even a basic CPA in the world who isn't laughing at you right now. This level of second grade ignorance is shocking, except he's on the phone acting like he's a boss. He really knows. Sir, Elon Musk uses massive amounts of debt to finance his businesses, and he is the richest man on the planet as a result. Now, you just sat here condemning debt. Elon Musk uses Jeff Bezos, Netflix. They use massive amounts of debt. General Motors, Ford, you can't name a company that doesn't leverage debt. Apple, all of them leverage what you would consider to be massive amounts of debt. Because
the pandemic has shown when you have too much debt, like Toys R Us and all of these other places.
Are you trying to tell us the pandemic put Toys R Us out of business?
Yes.
So it wasn't.
They came to collect on that debt.
Toys R Us was already going down a decade ago. And by the way, it wasn't Toys R Us. It was short. It was short sellers in the stock market that was actually what caused them to go down. But by the way, Walmart and Amazon, you telling me that didn't contribute to Toys R Us's decline?
Does Walmart have as much debt as Toys R Us did?
Sir, Toys R Us is a one industry marketplace. All they do is toys. You have people who are much better financed who could do it cheaper and better. How was Toys R Us supposed to compete against that? They started losing a decade ago. The writing was already on the wall, sir. Did you not know this? There's a lot you don't know about basic business and finance. This guy literally just told us that debt is a bad thing. And literally everybody who's whooping his ass is utilizing debt correctly. This is what I meant. These folks raising these projects with the WIC vouchers, and he's talking insane, but he won't quit. He's embarrassing himself to hell, but he won't quit.
If you're going to incur debt, you want to have some kind of a moat, some type of reserve that in case it falls off, you still have something to fall back on.
Sir,
you don't want to just go in there with debt.
How old are you, sir? How old are you?
I'm 40.
How much do you make a year?
I make $50,000 a year.
Thank you for giving us a call. I will let that one. Jason, let him talk. Let him talk. I let him talk. Jason, you need to let him talk. I let him talk. Jason, why you let him talk and embarrass himself like that? You be embarrassing these folks by letting them talk. I can't win. All right. So now it's going to be my fault because I let him speak, right? I'm the bad guy because I let him talk. Caller from area code 267. You're on live with the Black Channel. What's your name? Where you calling from?
This is Tammy calling from Williamsport, PA. How are you, Jason Black? This is a great show. I totally agree with you. I think what's going on, a lot of people don't understand. Say if you have a job and you said something to disparage that job and they fire you, you don't have any power. But if you own your own business and there's a certain company that you used to work with and you deciding to leave that company, whatever you say to them will not hurt them if they get rid of you because you have your own business. I think a lot of people don't understand that, Kanye is somewhat still under people, and there's a lot of people that's financing him, and he hasn't got his game up to the point where he can be able to move boldly like Jeff Bezos. And it's people are getting it confused. It has nothing to do with what he says, right or wrong, because the point is... Well,
this isn't moving boldly here. This is just moving dumb because now everybody... People who don't like you ain't supposed to know what you're thinking. This is a basic tenet of adulthood. People who don't like you shouldn't know what you're thinking. They shouldn't be aware of what you're thinking. That's the problem. So these immature personalities saying this garbage is ridiculous. Folk who don't like you don't have a damn thing. They shouldn't know a damn thing going on behind your ears. Notice nobody has called in and refuted that fact, by the way. Did you notice nobody called in and said it's okay for your enemies to know what you're thinking? That's how smart warriors move. We had a guy call up and tell us that you shouldn't use debt to finance a business when literally every major business he could name today, including Amazon, was started with debt. Large amounts of debt. Facebook, huge amounts of debt. And had some ignoramus jump, well, you shouldn't be using debt to finance your business. If you want to know why black kids are way behind white and Asian kids, that guy was somebody's financial advisor. There's some 5-year-old, 10-year-old kid thinking that because he's 40 years old, he must have learned something in the last 4 decades. And that little kid doesn't realize this jackass didn't learn a damn thing. 4 decades, just as stupid today as he was. Well, you shouldn't use that to finance your business like that. You shouldn't do that, yeah. When literally, if you're talking about real estate or anything else, it's all debt. It's about how you properly use it. And he's telling you that his business strategy is Kanye should use Kanye's savings. Let me introduce those of you who don't watch my other YouTube channel. Let me introduce you to a new term that my CPAs and financial advisors will all recognize. The term is called cash poor. The reason that you hoard your cash and your earnings, which is what Facebook, Netflix, Amazon, Apple, Google, and the rest of them do, they have what's called a cash hoard, and you leverage debt, is so that you don't dip into the stored wealth that you have. You leave your stored wealth alone. You store up value so that you can go risk somebody else's money. That's what you do. I've told you all about this before. I've done this myself. If I go purchase a new vehicle under Section 179, I'll pay half the cost of the vehicle. I'll finance the other half. Yes, I've got the money to pay for the whole thing cash. That would be stupid. If Chase Bank is going to loan me $50,000 at 2% interest, I'd be an idiot not to do that. I can keep that $50,000 in my bank account, not give it to the dealership. Keep the $50,000 in your bank account. Go find some other place where I can invest $50,000. And as long as I can get more than $5,000 in 5 years, which I promise you I'll get more than $5,000 in year 1, that's it. You're ahead. It would be stupid to take the whole cost of the vehicle out of your bank account. You can leverage somebody else's money for a very small fee, and as long as you are able to take that $50,000 and generate more than the interest would have been for what you borrowed, you're ahead. You're way ahead. Now, if you ain't smart enough and if you're not capable and if you're not able to make that happen, then I suggest you do like caller number 1 and just go into your bank account and pay the whole thing. I suggest you do that because what you said is, Jason, I'm not smart enough. I don't understand it. I don't know how to make money on my own. I don't know where I can invest $50,000 and get $1,000 a year. I don't know where I could do that. Oh, well, in your case, you better just go into your savings and pay it all. Now, what I'm saying right now is not rocket science. There are many of you who know this already. If you work in banking, some of you work for banks, financial institutions, you know all this. The first guy who called up, 40 years old, and doesn't know this, and is preaching to anybody who'll listen that he understands finance and economics in a modern capitalist society. And then you wonder why his kids will be broke and struggling because this is what their daddy was saying to them their whole lives. Caller from area code 314. You're on live with the Black Channel. What's your name? Where you calling from?
Hello, Jason. My name is Mike. I'm calling from St. Louis.
Okay, you're way away from your phone or something. Get closer to it.
Just give me a second.
Okay, your audio is real janky. I'm going to give you one more try here. What's your name? Where you calling from? Okay, his call dropped, so the aliens got him. Caller from area code 912. You're on live with the Black Channel. What's your name? Where you calling from?
Hey, Jason, how you doing, man?
What is your name? Where are you calling from?
Jamie, Savannah, Georgia.
What is on your mind?
I was calling in. I just wanted to point out something that I seen when I was online. Kanye West had said Satoshi Nakamoto. For those who not familiar with Satoshi Nakamoto, that's the individual who invented, or the group of individuals who invented Bitcoin. I also was paying attention to how Elon Musk was one of the individuals who had pumped the price of Dogecoin. So I know Elon Musk, he's an influencer. Right now, while we talking, they have a company called Ripple Labs, who is another cryptocurrency out of that Bitcoin space. They actually got some emails because they're in a lawsuit with the SEC. To my understanding, the rest of the world consider this cryptocurrency called XRP digital currency. I did some research where it showed that each XRP is allegedly backed to 1 ounce of gold. And then you got another one called XLM. Now, I only bring that to everybody's attention because what I think is about to happen with this Kanye situation, I remember when Kanye West was on an interview with Spree, and he had explained to him how many individuals are his age doing what he do. And they couldn't really answer. So what he said was that, really nobody. So with that being said, he was like, he need their help. He need everybody help. But it's like he don't need their advice because he's like the only individual doing what he doing. You know what I'm saying? So what I kind of see is that basically him merging with
transmitting the
Elon Musk, they
of the
actually
Indonesian proximity in order to further segregate the crux of my venereal infection. Now, if I may retain my liquids here for one moment, I'd like to continue the redundance of my quote-unquote intestinal tract. See, because to preclude on the issue of world domination would only circumvent, excuse me, circumcise the revelation that reflects the
Facebook just rebranded to the metaverse. So with all that being said, Kanye West and Elon Musk, they innovators, they already ahead of the game. The world is but a stage.
So you say that Kanye is going to take us to the metaverse?
I mean, Mark Zuckerberg, they rebranded to the metaverse, and I know the metaverse is all connected to that digital currency space.
So you're saying that you're saying that Kanye is going to take us to the metaverse, correct?
Yeah, I really do. I really do. Because it's all business, you know. It's like 20,000 other cryptocurrencies than Bitcoin. Bitcoin not the only one. The metaverse is just gonna be just like a digital. It's a digital interpretation. Like I said, I leave it on that note. That's how you feel. I just feel like when he had the Satoshi Nakamoto hat on, that's the key everybody need to pay attention to. The world done changed.
You have entered a dimension of silliness, of the uninformed, unenlightened, and unmotivated. Individuals with limited IQs and unlimited cell phone minutes. You have now entered the buffoon zone. Chess moves. Chess moves. You got one nigga that says you don't need debt. You got another one just told us that Kanye is prepping to take us to the metaverse. These are the chess move advocates. Chess move now. This is the chess move. He was explaining to us the chess move, Jason. You don't understand. See, between Kanye and Elon, it's going to be digital currency and chess moves. Chess moves. Jason, let him talk. Let him talk. I let him talk. I let him talk. Caller from area code 404. You're on live with the Black Channel. What's your name? Where you calling from?
Monday Machero, Decatur, Georgia.
Okay, you said Sharon?
Monday Machero.
Okay, Monday, and what's on your mind?
Look, you don't got to prove that A doesn't equal B. All you got to prove is that B don't equal A.
What?
Strategies don't work, brother. Strategies don't work.
I feel like John Tron. What? What the?
Muammar Gaddafi had 143 tons of gold in his coffers, brother. He had a standing army. He had a nuclear weapon. How far did he get? Strategies don't work, brother. You got to go straight through the door. How far did Malcolm get, brother? Malcolm, with all his wisdom and all his intelligence and all of his militancy, lasted 9 months on his own before he got his wigs pushed back, brother. Strategies don't work. And you're assuming that Kanye's relationship to his billions is unlike your relationship to the Democratic Party. He don't care about them damn billions, the same way you don't care about the Democratic Party. You're assuming the conclusion. Strategies don't work.
Brother, I have one question, and I mean this question in all seriousness. I'm not joking one bit. I'm not joking about this at all. How many times have you been to prison?
Sir, I got enough degrees to slap you across the face.
Right. Let me try again, brother. There's plenty of dudes who got degrees while they was locked up. So how many times have you been to prison? You didn't answer my question.
You're running away. You're running away from the. You're running away from me. I know.
I'm gonna try this.
You're scared, brother.
I'm gonna try this one last time.
Ow.
How many times have you been to prison?
I've been to prison enough times to smack you across the face with, brother.
Okay. I pretty much figured that. Thank you very much for giving us a call tonight. Y'all, I'm going to say this, and a lot of fellas ain't going to like it, but I'm telling the damn truth. If you want to know why it is, I'm going to say it. Why it is that the average black female, I'm going to say it, even if the single mamas are the ones who turn the boys into this with her foolery and whorishness. If you want to know why it is the average black female, once she gets past the age of 30, she's very skeptical of the ability of the average black male. Listen to the black males who have called in during this program. This is what black women run into every day. Absolute ignorance attempting to cloak itself as competence. These guys know everything about science fiction. They know everything about conspiracy theories. Can't turn $1 into $2. He knows how to turn lead into steel. He knows how to turn digital currency into pornography. He doesn't know how to turn 2 quarters into 4. Now, I want you to think that over for a moment. If you're a black woman out here and you would actually like to experience some of the finer things in life, no wonder you got to go to Magic City and swing them butt cheeks and make it do what it do. Because the dudes are out here they have receded and regressed into an imaginary world. And he really wants you to live in it. He really wants you to play with his toy Tonkas. Right there with him. Well, you gotta understand, Chicky baby, is that in this capitalist system, we can't really get ahead, baby. I mean, strategy is not a strategy. Hope is not a strategy, but strategy is not a strategy either. You see, the Honorable Muammar Gaddafi, baby, you got to understand, he was trying to teach us, baby. How old are you again? I'm 48. Okay, well, I'm 26. So you approached me, so where are you leading me? Baby, I am leading you to a greater and deeper understanding of the world that is around you here, is what you need to understand. The ladies are like, man, let me go start a damn OnlyFans. I'm not trying to be with this loser ass nigga. Let me just start an OnlyFans and hope I can make it on my own. Let me swim by myself, I'll be damned. If y'all want to know what's fueling that, this is what the average black female runs into. It's feast or famine. She either gets a guy who knows what the hell he's talking about, but most of the time they meet this fella. They meet him. I just wanted you all to know that. So they work at places where they work for non-black people, and those folk ain't sitting up here talking all this gobbledygook because they're not defeated. That guy is defeated. And the other ones who called in, all of them defeated, back-to-back defeated. None of them are in the real world. So if you want to know why it is that the women seem so damn skeptical and difficult, this is what they gotta deal with. On their Facebook, in their DMs, at their job, on the subway. God help you on the subway in New York. This is what's approaching them. Talking about he ain't getting respected. Okay, at the end of all this babble, he literally told you that he does, even if you gave him money, he would call it debt and tell you, hey, I can't do nothing with that. This is why women today, you can say whatever the hell y'all want to. If you want to know why you got 8, 9 broads having a baby by one NBA player, is because she was like, I'll be damned, at least there's something. At least there's something in it. All the hoes in the housing projects who were too dumb and too silly to figure out that this guy ain't doing nothing but talking, they're the ones who end up with their babies. And then they get on Facebook mad as hell because she fell for it. Caller from area code 501, you're on live with the Black Channel. What's your name? Where you calling from? Caller from area code 501, last try, you're on live. Okay, he has been abducted. Caller from area code 217, you're on live with the Black Channel. What's your name? Where you calling from?
Hello, Jason. My name is Derek out of Peoria, Illinois.
Derek out of Peoria, what's on your mind?
Well, the reason why I'm agreeing with Kanye as making a chess move, only under the certain circumstance of the fact that he's got his own distribution, because he's been talking about, I want to do the direct-to-consumer, and then he's on the Piers Morgan interview and also on the Drink Champs, he was talking about this guy named dubbed Charvy or something like that. But that was the founder of American Apparel, booted out of his company and started American Apparel. And if you look at Vice News, they did a report on him, and he has his own factory in America. Now, if you're hanging out with a guy that has his own distribution and he's got his own contracts with like the U.S. Army, I can imagine him as a businessman who's basically been a cultural icon in fashion, and also in his history of fashion, he and also Virgil Abloh had internships with Fendi to understand the high-end business. Same thing with Tom Ford. He worked for Yves Saint Laurent.
American Apparel didn't go under for that reason, though. I want to stop everybody just before he gets miles down the road. By the way, he's wrong. The way he's characterizing American Apparel, anybody can Google it and find out what he's saying is not accurate. He's already off to a bad start, but go ahead.
Well, I'm just putting it in the context of here's a guy that has a brand where he's doing his own distribution and he's working with other companies.
But what you just said is factually inaccurate and wrong. So before we get miles down the road, I'm gonna let you finish talking because let him talk, Jaden. Let him talk. Okay, I'm gonna let him talk. But by the way, he's completely wrong about everything he just said. I don't care if Kanye said it or not. What you just said could easily be correct if you would just Google it and could be bothered to read the story. But go ahead.
Well, I mean, time will tell with all this that's happened. But
Sir, time has already told. You can Google has told.
If those parameters were put in place. Because the context of it, he's saying he wants his own distribution, direct to consumer, and Kanye, without denial, has a huge following. He is a cultural icon. Yeezys sell out all the time. And
show me a major clothing line that is favored by teenagers today that does direct to consumer. Go.
And this might be the first one. That's what I'm saying. But I'm just putting it. I agree with the chess move.
Okay, let me try a second time. Tell me a single major clothing line that is popular with teenagers that is direct to consumer currently. Go.
There are none, and he might be the first.
So you want to gamble with Kanye's money?
Well, I'm not gambling. I just really want to see the result.
You want to gamble and experiment with Kanye's money.
If I could use Kanye's money to expand my real estate business that I have, yeah, I would. But not in the fashion industry. I'm not educated.
And what happens to him if you're wrong? Then what? If you're wrong with his money, then what?
Well, you just hold those L's. It's just like, and then you just get back up, and then you go back to.
Okay, but if he's wrong, it financially wipes him out.
I don't know if he's honestly really spent money.
If what you're saying is wrong, if he tries to go all in on his own, what you're saying, if it's wrong, he wipes himself out.
Yeah, probably. I mean, those are risks you have to take in business.
No, you don't have to take that risk. Why don't we offload that risk to Adidas, sir? Why don't we let Adidas take that risk
the way that
why don't we let Adidas, sir? Why don't we let Adidas take that risk, sir? Why don't we let Adidas take that risk the same way that Michael Jordan let Nike take that risk? Because understand, nobody talks about Mutombo's shoes. Nobody talks about his shoes. Everybody out there has got a damn shoe. Only a few of them actually made money. It's like the music business. If a record label puts out 10 albums, they'll be lucky if 2 of them make any money. Those 2 gotta pay for the other 8. So, sir, why don't we offload that risk to Nike or Reebok or Adidas? How about we risk their money? And if it goes bad, they gotta eat that.
That is a safe move. That is a safe move.
It was a safe move until he started listening to folk like you. Now it's not even an option anymore.
Yeah, it's not. But we'll see. Time will tell.
Wow, did you all hear how callous this guy was? Yeah, well, I guess not, but we'll see. Now, just understand, he's talking all this big garbage, but with Kanye's money he's risking. He ain't risking his. He's talking about how much Kanye should be willing to risk. He's not going to get in front of Kanye and say, hey, man, you can't risk this. He's talking about, hey, Kanye, well, it's your money. I think you should jump on out there. Don't y'all see how much black males hate to see other black males win? He's not trying to protect him. He knows what he's saying.
I'm not,
he can't guarantee him or protect him, but he's sitting up here saying, you know what, let me pat you on the back. You get on out there and jump out there, Kanye. Go ahead. Even though he knows better.
Balenciaga, he was saying that he wanted his own picks. He wanted his own private Balenciaga store with only his picks that he wanted. So, you know, here's a guy that kind of knows the fashion industry better than us. That's why he was able to develop a multi-billion-dollar
brand. Sir, if he knows the fashion industry better than us, sir, that is a lie, and I'm going to mute you, sir. If Kanye knows it, if Kanye knows the fashion business better than us, then why in the world is he making stupid moves like he is right now?
Because he's willing to take the risk.
Sir, he's not taking a risk that's putting him ahead. How is this putting him ahead?
Time will tell. I'm looking at this whole thing and all the publicity that it's honestly getting.
Sir, it's bad. It's horrible publicity. It's horrible publicity, sir. This isn't publicity that makes people want to deal with him. This is publicity that is making people shut doors. This is not publicity that is making people open doors. You hear this clown, I'm watching the publicity. He's getting publicity for people saying we don't want to fool with you. I just want you all to understand something. This is what black females have to run into every day. You notice you haven't had any black females call me up with this gobbledygook. Black females have to deal with this type of irrational garbage every day. And the only answer he could come up with is, well, time will tell. He didn't come up with a strategy to get Kanye from 140 million to 1.4 billion. He's trying to take Kanye from 1.4 billion to zero and then talking about, well, even if it goes bad. Now I want you to understand, if you're a black female out here and you're looking for the man who got the bag, you're looking for the man who you worth risking your life, because childbirth is a risk to your life. And if you're looking for the man who you are going to take care of his legacy and risk your life for, and you want to see your life be better, you came from a family y'all didn't have nothing, and you are here to make sure that the pattern of nothing stops with you, you got to bet it all on the right dude. And I wanted you to know so far, 4 black males done called in 4 strikes with absolutely insane fantasy delusion talk that refutes capitalism, refutes economics, refutes math, refutes physics. And all he could say was, well, if it works, that's great. And if it doesn't work, well, you know, that would be bad. How many females listen to me right now? Oh, fellas, no. I know the fellas hate it when I do this, but I got to tell the truth. How many females are listening to me right now? You done had a car wrecked. You've done had your credit cards run up with some dude that you sitting here talking about, well, let's see his potential. And he talked like these guys. He's got all this seeming intelligence. He seems like he has intelligence. So you're talking to him, it's like, well, he doesn't talk like Pookie and Ray Ray and Migos. He's not barely verbal, and he's sitting here regaling you about cryptocurrency and Game of Thrones. And he was like the guy when the fellow went and shot up, Peyton Gendron went and shot up the store in Buffalo. He's like that homeless fella outside the store. We were talking about string theory and economic theory and history. How many of you females have gotten yourselves in a financial bind because you ran into a guy like that and you were assuming because he didn't talk like Pookie and Ray Ray, well, there must be something resembling intelligence rattling around here in this nigga's head? And I just want you all to understand, this is what the average black female encounters on a daily basis, to the point that it becomes difficult for them to distinguish those who actually have actionable, useful knowledge from those who just got a bunch of random ass information rattling around in their head. Caller from area code 773, you're on live with the Black Channel. What's your name? Where you calling from? Okay, caller from 773 has got narcolepsy. Caller from area code 860. You're on live with the Black Channel. What's your name? Where you calling from?
Good evening, Jason. This is James from Hartford, Connecticut.
James from Hartford, what's on your mind?
I just wanted to push back a little on a comment you made earlier that I feel, I don't know if it's a contrarian talking point or if it's delusion with some black people when they say that they want to know what's what and what these white people really feel with regard to using the N-word or whatever. My thing is, I believe all these white people are white supremacists unless proven otherwise. You don't ever see Jewish people talking about, oh, call me the K word. I want to know where you stand. Kanye technically didn't say anything against Jewish people, and they got him completely locked down by a white majority. Okay? And you don't see Jewish people, though, like, oh, yeah, call us whatever. But why do us black people, we're like, oh, we want to know where white people feel.
Okay, sir, I don't know what you're talking about right now. You're kind of babbling. What is your point, sir?
The point is, earlier you said you didn't mind that the N-word had gone up 500-fold or whatever on Twitter. And you said you prefer to know where these people stand. Did you not say that?
Yeah, it doesn't bother me how if white folk run around talking about nigga this and nigga that, that doesn't hurt me or bother me. The most it'll do is let me know where my enemies are openly. So my point is that ain't gonna hurt me. If it hurts you, my condolences, but it doesn't hurt me.
Show me a Jewish person that will say what you just said with regard to the K word.
Okay, sir, if my enemies expose themselves openly, doesn't that make it easier for me to punish them?
They're all our enemies.
Okay, sir, if my enemies expose themselves openly, does that not make it easier for me to punish them, which is the whole reason for my enemies wearing their colors openly, so I can more easily identify them? Did you think I just want to identify them because I want to take a damn picture? Do us a favor, hang up the phone. Don't say anything else, just hang up the phone, dude. You said enough. Call it a night. Call it a night. At least he was smart enough to go ahead and hang up the phone. Just call it a night, man. Y'all were having failure to launch here. What the hell are they doing in these Head Start classes today? Caller from area code 404. You're on live with the Black Channel. What's your name? Where you calling from?
This is Ace from Georgia.
Okay, you sound like you're tongue wrestling the phone. Should I come back later?
Hold on, bro.
Dude, hold on. You're not ready?
You hear me now?
What is your name? Where you calling from?
This is Ace from Georgia.
And I'm hearing myself behind you. Dude, you're a sloppy mess. What is going on, dude?
I don't know how you can hear yourself because I don't have nothing going, bro.
What is it you wanted to say?
I wanted to say this, man. There's another perspective of looking at what Kanye is doing. I think it's hypocritical for black leaders, and I consider the grassroots media to be the black leaders.
You would be wrong on simply every level, but go ahead.
Okay, hold on. Let me explain myself. Right now, we have no leadership. So you all are the talking heads that are giving us a code to live by. So we're always complaining that we can't get, like Colin Kaepernick, we can't get professionals, people with the millions of dollars to stand up and say something against the system, against the powers that be. Now, in the past, that's all we had. We had Muhammad Ali, we had Dr. King, Malcolm X, and other celebrities, and they risked everything they had
to be at the forefront of a revolution, and they didn't know what the end was going to be. Now, Kanye, he steps out and he says this, and I don't think he thought it all the way through. Just like everything he's been saying over the years, he hasn't thought it all the way through. When he said George Bush hates black people and all these different things, he didn't think it all the way through. But we gravitated to Kanye because of his college dropout and the different things he did to make rap a clean genre again. So he said he's not going to apologize, which he never said nothing against the Jews. He said, I'm not going to apologize till I get all these people around the table, all these heads of all of these CEOs of these rap labels around the table, until they come around this table and have a conversation about why they can support Black death, but yet they're willing to crucify me because I said I'm going to label them, I'm going to call them out by their religion. Because if this was Southern Baptists doing this, everybody would say these folks are bringing back are bringing back the revolution, are bringing back the Civil War. People would say that. So,
okay, sir, you've had your 2 minutes to speak, sir. Why is it that Ice Cube was able to do the same thing? He had those Jewish executives paying for him to call that out. Why is it that that was the wrong thing to do, and Kanye's buffoonery is smart?
Wait a minute. First of all, Kanye hadn't called out these Jewish folks.
Sir, let me say this again. Ice Cube did it on record and had these Jewish executives paying for it. Why is it Kanye didn't do the same thing?
Okay. Kanye is looking for results that's tangible. We keep asking for tangible from the government. Kanye is trying to do a revolutionary move.
Kanye's most powerful communication medium is his music. Ice Cube's most powerful communication medium is his music. Ice Cube got the Jewish executives to pay for his music for him to speak about them. Why is it that Kanye didn't do that? Third time.
Because, let me say this again. Our death numbers from this rap music, our death numbers are off the charts. How many people are dying and how it's spreading to ordinary civil society. Kanye has, in everything he's done, he hadn't broke a stride. He's always been a disruptor. He came into the rap game as a dude saying, listen to my beats, and I'm going to one day be signing y'all's checks. That's how he came into the game. He's coming into this game saying Ice Cube hadn't got enough done. Ice Cube hadn't really moved the needle. Why would you want to pattern Ice Cube? Now, don't get me wrong, I love Ice Cube for what he's trying to do with getting before, Joe Biden and everything. I'm not trying to knock Ice Cube. What I'm saying is, why do we
you talking about Ice Cube hasn't moved the needle? Dude, are you insane on my phone?
Dude, Ice Cube had not moved no needle. Ice Cube has tried to move the needle. He hadn't moved nothing, though.
If
nothing
Ice Cube,
he can't even get a meeting with the president.
Ice Cube hasn't moved the needle, then why are you monitoring him talking to the president if he hasn't moved the needle?
Ice Cube can't even get
okay, sir, second time. President. If you're monitoring him talking to the president, he must be pretty damn relevant. But how is that not being moved the needle if you're still monitoring him?
Sir, what I mean is, this is what I mean. Let me explain myself. You asked me a direct question.
Let me talk. Let me talk. And then you're going to explain, you're going to explain to us how Kanye has moved the needle. Not wants to move it. You're going to explain how what he's done has moved the needle.
Sir, we come from a lineage of disruptors. I'm going to explain about Ice Cube moving the needle.
Okay, let's start with Kanye. How has Kanye moved the needle?
Kanye only been at this has been 7 days, brother.
Okay, sir.
Days.
Actually, he's been at it a little bit longer than that.
Come on,
he's been at it a little bit longer than that, sir. That's not a true statement. Stop lying to try to substantiate your garbage.
Kanye hasn't been just 7 days. He said for 7 days.
No, sir. Kanye's been making little comments left and right for a minute. Now, this is the first time that he put up a tweet where he declared to the world, "I'm going to go in on Jewish people starting tomorrow morning." That's the first time that happened. You guys are not up on very much of anything.
Okay, can I answer your question though?
Explain to me,
Explain to me,
sir, how has Kanye moved the needle?
Okay. Kanye has set himself up to be a target. By him setting himself up to be a target, he's not doing like your boy Nick Cannon. He's not hiding. He's letting them all pile on, which I think is the worst thing the Jews could do. They're going to pile on. So see, the Jews' upside is not infinite. They own everything. They print the money. They own all these world banks that keep black people in poverty all around the world. We are just getting started. This is the first generation of wealth that black people have seen, that we have the laws in our favor and we have the wealth.
Now, I asked him about Kanye, and he's babbling on the screed somewhere else. Sir, I'm not going to let you say anything else. How is Kanye losing $500 million in value a win? How is that a win?
Sir, if you give me more than 15 seconds,
Sir, you were asked and you didn't answer it. Sir, how is Kanye being from worth $1.5 billion to $500 million? How is that a win?
Okay, let me answer that then. If you'll just let me answer. It's the same type win Muhammad Ali had when he said, "You can take these belts if I can't speak for my people." Same win. He became 10 times bigger than what he was when he was known as this little 22-year-old kid that beat Sonny Liston. The same way. Let them people strip you of your stuff and you'll see who the real villains are. And Kanye said, Tupac told him something years ago. He said, never go to war till you get your weight up. Your weight meaning money. Why do we have which as the Black Authority, you started from scratch and look at where you are now.
Sir, they did.
Relevance.
Sir, Sir, Muhammad Ali was allowed to fight. Muhammad Ali could go fight. Muhammad Ali could go fight. Sir, the biggest fight of his career was in Africa, not in America.
Sir, he was not allowed to fight. What are you talking about?
Sir, second time. The biggest fight of his career was not even on American soil. Kanye doesn't have that. Kanye doesn't. Sir, they are in two separate types of business. Kanye cannot do what Ali did.
Sir,
Sir,
you just let me.
They are in two separate businesses. What you're saying is irrelevant. Kanye is not in the business that Mayweather or Ali are in. You're comparing apples to cinder blocks.
Sir, I just want to finish because I think you preach most of the time what Kanye actually has the balls to do. Can I just make my point?
Sir, no, sir, you've already made your point. This is terrible strategy. When I asked you where's the win in taking him from $1 billion to $500 million, you're done. You don't have a point anymore.
Sir, that was projected numbers. That's not the
money.
That's a contract.
We're talking
about the future.
Sir, we're talking about net worth, and I already explained to you, since you don't understand basic math, how you leverage that for the future. I already explained that. Clearly, it went over your head. But you were allowed you were allowed to talk for a good long time, so thank you very much. Let him talk, Jason. Let him talk. Let him talk. How'd that go? How'd that work out? When you ask these guys basic questions here, well, you see, it's the same winning move as when Ali gave up his belts. But it's not the same thing. And Ali could go fight somewhere else. Nobody could really stop Ali in that way. Ali didn't have endorsements. That wasn't what was going on. Hell, they were talking about drafting him for war. So yes, it would make more sense for him to be an agitator. That was a win if they trying to draft you to go to war. Every time I asked him about Kanye, he went off on something else. Every time I asked him, what about he's lost half of his net worth? He talked about something else. 1 + 1 = 8. Caller from area code 954. You're on live with the Black Channel. What's your name? Where you calling from?
Hello, I'm Sam calling from Florida. Can you hear me?
Okay, I don't know if you're on speaker, Bluetooth, or whatever, but your audio's bad. You're going to need to take it off of Bluetooth or whatever it's on because we can't make out what you're saying.
Can you hear me any better?
Okay, what is your name? Where you calling from?
Sam calling from Florida.
Sam from where in Florida?
Miami.
Sam in Miami, what's on your mind?
I think that Kanye's plan was already stated, on Drink Champs. He said explicitly, the only way I win in 2024 is if I start going after the Jewish media this early. And so that's his game. I mean, it's not really like, I'm not saying it's a smart chess move, but that's his game.
Stop.
He stated he loved Hitler and loved
sir,
Nazis.
you heard me say stop. You ain't that drunk.
My bad.
Yeah, real bad. You're telling us that Kanye is doing this because he is setting up his presidential run in 2024.
He said that explicitly on Drink Champs, but it was a 3-hour interview.
Okay.
So people aren't going out of
All
their way
right,
to clip
sir.
that.
God, he said a lot of things, sir. You're cherry picking one thing. He said a lot of things, sir. That wasn't the crux of what he said. He said a bunch of stuff. So no, that didn't stand out to anybody. That was just one thing bundled in a whole screed of ranting. So you're telling us that you think he was doing that. What he's doing now is to set up his presidential run in 2024.
I think it's mostly because he's too lazy and not disciplined enough to make another good album. He can't even finish the album he started.
Do you think that Kanye is acting that anything Kanye is doing now is a chess move?
He thinks it is, but not a good one, in my opinion.
Didn't ask you if I didn't ask you if he thinks it is, sir. I asked you.
Oh, hell no. He's an idiot.
Okay. Take the night off. Drink off that liquor. Caller from area code 704. You're on live with the Black Channel. What's your name? Where you calling from?
Hello, this is Lanisa Sheila from Concord, North Carolina, about 22 minutes outside of Charlotte, North Carolina.
All right, Lanisa from Concord, and what's on your mind?
I was wondering, why is it so hard to convince Black people when you talk about economic strength for our community? Why is it so hard to convince our people that we need to work towards that? And also, I have another question. I thought
save the second question.
Kanye West
save the second
black,
question now.
like a black
you're not that drunk either. Save your second question. You just made a statement. Who is against Black people working together economically? Who is against that?
When you try to talk to Black people and you try to convince them that we need to focus on economic strength, like strengthening our community economically, why is it so difficult to convince them that that is important for us? Because Black people seem to be resistant towards economic strength.
Who are the people who it's difficult to convince that you're referring to?
I'm referring to people that I've been trying to talk to about how we need to focus on building ourselves up economically, and they don't seem to think that it's a very important priority for our community.
Okay. I'm not aware of who you're talking about, but I mean, if they're not on board with it, then it's because those who can do, those who can't sit around complaining or try to distract and deflect. What's your second question?
Mm-hmm. And I thought that Kanye West was a Black consciousness person. What happened to him? I thought he was all about Black consciousness.
I don't know. Has Kanye ever declared himself to be that?
I had heard that his mother had kind of,
let me try this a second time now. Has Kanye ever declared himself that? Or is that something that you and other people probably tried to impose on him? Has he ever said that?
He was that way before the death of his mother.
Okay,
but after the
third
death of
time.
his mother, he lost
Third time. Has Kanye ever identified himself that way? He's identified himself as a rapper.
No.
He's identified himself as a musician.
No.
Has he ever identified himself as a conscious rapper?
No, sir. He has not.
Okay. And is your big ass on the toilet? Hang the hell up on you. Was that big ass heifer sitting there on the damn toilet talking to me? Nasty Southern fried. Caller area code 202. You're on live with the Black Channel. What's your name? Where you calling from?
Trouble Man from DC.
Trouble Man from DC. What's on your mind?
Yeah, I know you're trying to hear from the people who think it's a chess move. I do not think it was a chess move, but I did have something I didn't agree with what you said when you were explaining it. You saying you wanted Kanye to stay papered up. I disagree with that because pretty much what you were just talking to the last caller about. He never said he was conscious. He never said he was about black economics. I think he does not know himself or have a clear agenda where he's going. So he was going to fumble this either way.
Well, you know what the real problem here is? When you're dealing with somebody who's gotten themselves in a bind, whether it's for emotional reasons or whatever the case may be, you're supposed to have people around you who grab the damn microphone. Think about this for just a few moments. Britney Spears is an airhead. Think from my hometown of Louisiana, home state of Louisiana. She got people who jumped in front of her and grabbed the mic. They didn't just let her sit up there and wild out. She's got people who jumped in front of her. Her dad put in a court order to stop her, to say, hey, I'm in charge of everything. And guess what? The damn judge gave it to him. Now think about that for a moment. Her father said, I want to have basically control and custody of an adult woman. And the judge said, done. Done.
And gave it to him.
Otherwise, Your Honor, if you don't give this to me, she's going to lose everything she has. And the judge said, well, we can't let that happen now, can we? Dad's in charge of your life, baby. You are in custody of your father again. Slung the gavel. And that was it. She had to fight for like a decade. She just got out from under his control this year. And she's like, what, damn near 40 by now? Now she's on Instagram posting all naked and things like that. I mean, that's the first thing she did. As soon as she got control of herself again, straight to Instagram, ass naked. I'm saying ass when in reality she was showing the other side of herself, by the way. By the way, I'm saying ass, but she actually was showing the other side. That's the first thing on Instagram. They didn't pull her account. Kanye, you got to go. Britney Spears on the timeline. She's 40 years old now. 40. And the judge and her dad and her handlers were allowed to step in front of her, grab the microphone and say, yeah, this ain't happening. We're not letting this occur. We're going to prevent her from doing this. She will not be allowed to liquidate and destroy everything she got. We don't give a damn how wacky she is. She won't be allowed to do it. Black folks sitting over here with folks sitting up here cheerleading, talking about, yeah, Kanye is free to wipe out everything he got. And it's always from some folk who ain't got nothing. Yeah, they're perfectly at ease with you losing everything you got. Far as they're concerned, he ain't lost nothing. Well, yeah, it's not your money and your life and your stored wealth that you're gambling with. It's not yours that you're threatening to wipe out. It's his.
Yeah, and the callers you've been getting, they've been blowing my mind because, like I said, because he didn't have his agenda straight, he was going to fumble it anyway. But even if he did have his agenda straight and he just found out that he couldn't deal with it anymore, you could have handed it off to someone else. There's another black person in the inner city that's good with fashion. You could have done a myriad of things.
Thank you very much
And
for
it
giving
really
us a call
upsets
here
me
tonight.
more than anything.
What you really got to do is make sure you got folk who can step in the way and say, yeah, you're done talking. You are a corporation. You are a business. It's too many of us got something to lose if you keep up this bull jive. No, dude, you're done talking. You're done. You're through talking. You don't have anything else to say. You are done. That's a wrap. You're done. You're done. Don't tell us about what you think. Don't tell us about what you feel. Bruh, we taking the mic. We're taking the mic. This is in your best interest. This is in all our best interest. How the hell we going to sit here and let you do that? Give us that damn thing. Give us that damn thing. You're done. Caller from area code 505. You're on live with the Black Channel. What's your name? Where you calling from?
Hey, this is Chris from the ABQ. How are you?
Okay, Chris, where are you calling from?
Albuquerque.
Okay, what's on your mind?
It's just sad. What Kanye did was no chess move at all. Been much smarter for him to keep making that money. He could have funded a whole lot of different projects in different industries, employing black people that are working for other companies, making them successful with our brain power and our management skills. I say it's just sad that he's, disrupted the influence he could.
Okay, brother's phone with his phone. Thank you very much for giving us a call. Let me get caller area code 662. You're on live with the Black Channel. What's your name? Where you calling from?
Yes, this is Aaron calling from Tupelo, Mississippi.
Aaron from Tupelo, what's on your mind?
I only have three things to say. I'm trying to say it within my 2 minutes. Now, the earlier callers, I kind of get what they coming from. I mean, they thinking is sort of like the way I was raised to think, you know what I'm saying? Like you pay flat out for everything that you own, you know what I'm saying? If you want to get a car, you save up and you buy the car, or, you know what I'm saying, if anything that you see that you want, you go pay for it outright. You save up and pay for it. But, you know what I'm saying, I lived my life through my teenage years doing that, paying for my car and stuff. I even paid for my first place, which was a trailer, cash money. Only when I went to try to buy a house, when I got introduced to credit. And then, you know, even though I had, you know what I'm saying, a little equity or cash with me, I didn't have a credit history. So, you know what I'm saying, I had to go back and start over something I should have been doing when I was younger.
Okay, well, the real thing here is that it's one thing if you're prepping your children to be minor consumers. Credit, telling them to avoid credit is great if you're only steering them towards a life of minor consumerism. If we're talking business on really any scale, you are doing your children grievous, fatal harm by making them afraid of credit. Because the real issue isn't that they should be afraid of credit. The real issue is you're dealing with parents who screwed theirs up because they didn't have the discipline or an agenda to be able to properly manage their own credit. So they're projecting their lack of discipline onto you. Their fears and neuroses and anxieties about their inability to handle it, they're projecting it onto you, as opposed to being straight and saying, hey, son, I really screwed up. Because the same parents who tell you to be afraid of credit, those are the same ones who have 4 or 5 bastard kids and tell you they don't know how they got pregnant. Thank you very much for giving us a call. They'll be the same ones sit up here and tell you that. Caller from area code 470. You're on live with the Black Channel. What's your name? Where you calling from? Okay, they're walking around with their phone in their pocket. Caller from area code 872. You're on live with the Black Channel. What's your name? Where you calling from?
Hey, what's going on? It's Dane from Chicago.
All right, Dane from Chicago. What's on your mind?
What I want to say is I'm kind of glad that you did touch on this. I know you touched on this on the last 2 Black Channels, probably like last week ago. If I don't know the exact date, but man, let me tell you something, bro. That ain't no damn chess move. Fuck what niggas talking about. That what Kanye did, that wasn't no chess move at all. And for 2, ain't nobody finna break their neck to support a damn coon to perform anyway. So even though they trying to make him the face of cinnamon, however you pronounce that word. But at the same time, ain't nobody from jump out the window to support no coon anyway, because Kanye didn't do all this to help our black folks anyway.
I agree. He's kind of off on
with.
his own tangent. He's kind of off wildcatting on his own. That's the issue. And now that he needs a base, he doesn't have it. Thank you very much for giving us a call here. And it's anti-Semitism, not anti-cinnamon. It's Semitism, not. No, I don't think he's against cinnamon toast. No. Caller from area code 954. You're on live with the Black Channel. What's your name? Where you calling from?
Yes, Spud calling from Fort Lauderdale, Florida.
Spud from Fort Lauderdale. What's on your mind?
I feel as though it's a chess move, Jason, because the only thing that Kanye was requesting is for the removal of control of Jewish restraints on our culture. Those same Jewish restraints on our culture trickle down even to you. Sometimes when on your broadcast, when it acts up, sometimes you know what I'm talking about. We know who runs YouTube. Also, those same Jewish restraints on our culture is what has me watching on YouTube. If we didn't have those Jewish restraints on our culture, I'd be watching on CNN, MSNBC. Your tone right now, you know, I rock with you, Jason, completely, wholeheartedly. But your tone right now is sort of like how Roland talks to us, the grassroots, about how we feel about reparations. He says they think that's a chess move. And we know that it's a chess move. And his stance is to tell us we don't know what we're talking about. We don't know what we're doing. Just like you said, if you're able to sit down to the table with a Mark Cuban, you should be able to go along with whatever restraints he has on whatever business you guys have. Just like we're fighting for reparations, we don't want any restraints on how we receive those reparations. Sort of like when we fight for lineage and things like that. That's why I feel it's a chess move.
Okay. And why is it that he's not mentioning all the other people? Why is he giving them a pass? He's not mentioning Asians. He's not mentioning Anglos. He's not mentioning Latinos, all of whom are capitalizing on what we've done, all of them who are all exploiting us. We're being exploited by all these others. Why is he letting the rest of them off the hook?
I don't believe that he's letting them off the hook. I believe he's going after the biggest culprit.
Okay, sir, but no. You're letting them all off the hook if you're not mentioning them. We talking about folk you're afraid to mention. Why is he afraid to mention any of these others?
That's the same talk, like I say, as well as how Roland says, "Oh, why you guys don't mention the Republicans when you guys talk about reparations?" He's mentioning the biggest culprit of this.
No, sir. We don't bring up Republicans when it comes to reparations because Republicans have already stated that they're against it. The Republicans are not lying. And now here's the other thing. Nor do we endorse supporting Republicans. That's where you got life in general screwed up at. We're not endorsing Republicans or saying to support them. We've already identified them. I've talked about Ron DeSantis, Donald Trump, and all the rest of them. So they don't get a pass, sir. So what you're saying, you're trying to imply some sort of lie, and I'm not going to let that happen either. They don't get a pass, but the Republicans are not pretending to support anything that we want. That's the difference. Do you understand that?
I understand that.
Okay, the Democrats are pretending that they actually support our position, which is why they're putting out all this confusion. Well, look, we do support reparations. We got HR 40. Okay, when you take lying to that kind of extent, I have to come back at you every week because there's a new group of people running into your lie every week. And if it's not... if we are not reintroducing them to the truth about that every single week, they're going to think that what you're saying and what we're saying is the same thing, and it's not. I don't have to do that with the Republicans because they're not doing any head fake. They're coming straight up the middle. Hey, we ain't supporting none of that. Okay, I don't have anything to clarify. If anybody talks to them and listens to them, they're going to say, yeah, we're against reparations. So it's not on me to have to say anything about them. So I'm not leaving them out. They're already declaring themselves. Now, for you to isolate Jewish people and not talk about the Asians, shout out Angela Yee. Yeah, I know she's biracial, but by the way, go back and go watch the interview they did with her and Umar Johnson. I ain't said this in a while. Let me remind y'all, when she talked to Umar Johnson, she sat there and said that there isn't racism. She said, talking about her family, there isn't anti-black racism among Asians like that. Go back and listen to the interview that they did with Umar Johnson, Angela Yee. I'll never forget it. She sat there and said, in my family, we don't have racism against black folk like that among Asians like that. And that's what she said. So what I'm saying is, no, you got to if you sit up here and isolate, you got all these white folk. We got a system of white supremacy, and you're telling us ignore the wheels and the trunk and the hood and just focus on the transmission. So you're letting all these other groups off the hook so that we can focus on one small corner. That's the part you don't want to have to acknowledge, is you have to let everybody else off the hook because you've taken the eye off of them, as opposed to simply targeting the system as a whole, and then you get everybody. Because here's the problem with what you say, sir. If Jewish people disappeared from Earth tomorrow, how would that affect the system of white supremacy as far as stopping it?
Just like within the parallel of this conversation, those same Jewish restraints on our culture and community even trickles down to politics as well.
Okay, sir, second time, Florida, you're babbling, sir, second time. If Jewish people disappeared tomorrow, how would that stop white supremacy from doing what it's currently doing? Second time.
As far as like the way we're portrayed within media, like we know who controls media.
So you're saying that if Jewish people disappeared tomorrow, that all those other white folk and Asians and Latinos, that they would portray us far better in the media?
Within our culture, we have.
Okay, so when you turn on, you live in
the culture.
Wait a minute, where do you live at? You live in Florida, sir. I've been by Telemundo and I forget the other one. I forget the other one off the top of my head. Telemundo and the other Univision. So you telling me that those companies got love for black folk? Do you all hear this? Do you hear how far these people are willing to go to defend this nonsense? You telling me the Latino television and media networks in Florida got love for black folk?
I'm not saying that at all.
Okay, it sounds like that's what you're saying. You just said if the Jews were out of the way, well, we wouldn't be portrayed badly. So all the whites and Asians and Latinos in the media, they all want to portray us in a great way. It's just that the Jews are stopping them from doing it.
They're in control of the media,
sir. So what you're so what you're saying is that if they're in control of the media, if we remove them, then we will finally be portrayed as intelligent, above board. All of us will be portrayed like Cliff Huxtable in the media. No more of this 50 Cent and power stuff, right?
Yeah, if we have control of our own media, and we're in control, if there's no Jewish constraints on our community.
So you say it's Jewish. You're saying that it's Jewish constraints preventing black people from quote unquote taking control of our own media. So it's none of these non-Jewish people. They're not trying to prevent us from having control of our own media either.
They're falling in line.
Sir, do you all hear what he's saying? Do you all hear what he's saying? Now he's saying I'm not gonna let this guy lie. He's saying all these other folks, they just fall in line. They're not really against us. It's just that the Jews are forcing them to fall in line.
It's just like it's the same parallel like we talk about with the Buffer class. They fall in line. It's the same thing with the Jewish media. The other culprits fall in line. They portray us the same way they see the main media portray us.
Sir, let me ask you a question here. How long have you lived in Florida?
All my life.
Okay. How long is that?
I'm 4 years old right now.
Okay. Have you ever dated a Latina female in Florida? Met their family? You ever spent any time around them?
Yes.
What was that?
Yes.
So you have. How many? How many? Just one?
Yeah. What you mean, the whole family?
Well, I'm just saying, just one Latina. How many have you dated? Like 2 or 3, or how many?
I grew up in Miami, so several.
Yeah, I thought so. Yeah, I thought that's what you were. Yeah. Now, y'all, I just wanted to take you down that one there. By the way, yeah, I thought you been between some thighs. And now, well, they black like us. Yeah, I thought you were. Yeah, that's what I thought.
That's not what I said.
Yeah, that's what
I said at all.
I thought.
All
that's what you were about.
Kanye's asking for the release of the Jewish constraints.
Now y'all see,
culture.
you see why he's so
asking for.
eager
Even
and so
down.
bold to give them a pass now. You see why he's so eager and so bold to give them a pass? Did you see that? But I mean, seamlessly. He's bold to give them a pass. If you want to know how it is he can live with himself, it's because he been some places that most of you might not have been. So his perspective on white Latino racism is different than his perspective. See, he ain't had a crack at no Jewish chicks. That's the real issue. He ain't had no crack at them. So the ones he felt he had a crack at, well, they get a pass. But you see, it's really about these other ones over here.
That's not the fact that I'm not a TBA. It's as simple.
By the way, where you're
okay?
I just heard an accent. Where are your people from? I just heard an accent. Where are your people from?
Our people from Florida, dog.
No, sir. Where are they from originally? I just heard an accent.
I am FBA. My people from a small town called Chattahoochee, Florida.
Sir, I just
Mariana,
heard.
Florida.
I just heard the accent
You
pop
tripping.
up there. I just heard it. Now he false flagging.
No, Jason, they tell us that why don't we try to say anything to the Republicans? It's the same parallel. Why do you give them guys a pass and you're not saying?
Sir, I'm giving nobody a pass. The Republicans have been written off. We already know where the Republicans stand. The Democrats are false flagging. So that's why you dedicate most of your interest toward your focus on them, because they're out here walking the streets saying that they represent us and our issues, and that what we're for, they're for. Okay, but sir, there's nothing that there's nothing that Jewish people are doing that all the other non-black people are not doing. It's a disservice to focus on one small group and ignore everybody else. That's the problem. You're letting everybody else run wild. Well, sir, here's the real thing. You've already said where you stand on it. You've already said, well, these other folks would treat us better. If the Jews was out the way, all these other non-black folks would do us better in the media. If they just following, they just have to.
I was saying if we had control of our own media.
But sir, but Jewish people, it is not just Jewish people who are doing what you're talking about. All of the rest of them are working together. The Jews are not leading them. They're all working in concert. And you're letting everybody else off the hook with your fantasy fiction lie that that these Jewish interests are leading them. No, they're not leading them. You're in a system of white supremacy and they're all working together. If you remove one of them, that's not going to change what the others are doing. And you just flat out said, yes, it is. The others are just following the Jewish folks' lead. They just have to do what they're told. No, they're working together. But you've spent so much time between some of them Southern Florida Latina legs, you trying to give them a pass. So, like I say, bro, do what you do. Do what you do. But I'm glad you said that. I'm glad you went ahead and just came out and said, by the way, y'all saw the way I had to get that out of him. But by the way, yeah, you want to know why he was riding so hard for white Latino? He's riding so hard. Well, they ain't really like that, Jason. See, they don't really feel that way. Dude, why are you ignoring obvious reality so much? Well, I've been with a few of them. I've been with a bunch of them, actually. I met the family, and I done laid them. I'm 40-something years old. I'm 10 toes deep. Yeah, no wonder he's so hard in the paint to give them a pass. Folks, you are getting a master class exposing what this is. 720 degrees, 10 tons, the analysis you'll receive nowhere else. By the way, that one wasn't hard to figure out either, was it? Yeah, he wants to ignore everybody else because he's focusing on who he's got sexual access to. They get a pass. Everybody he ain't had sexual access to, they don't get a pass. I'm saying I don't give a damn what access you had. They all go in the same pot. White supremacy. Jason, see, they don't really want to do it to us. They just doing what the Jews tell them they would do. Caller from area code 773. You're on live with the Black Channel. What's your name? Where you calling from?
Name's Tyrone.
Okay, Tyrone, you're too late. Caller from area code 312. You're on live with the Black Channel. What's your name? Where you calling from?
This is Castor from Chicago, Illinois.
All right, Castor from Chicago. What's on your mind?
See, I don't like what y'all doing with Kanye. Y'all think him losing $500 million, that's gonna hurt him. But ain't y'all the same people that say, stop pocket watching? Why y'all pocket watching Kanye?
Sir, pocket watching is what you do when somebody is making money. It's not pocket watching when you're telling somebody, hey, stop losing money. You don't even know what the definition of pocket watching. Sir, how drunk are you?
Did you ask me how old I am?
No, sir. I asked you a second time. You sound like you've been drinking a little bit.
No.
It's Saturday. It's Chicago.
Go ahead and ask the question
It's
again.
Saturday.
I
It's
get what
Chicago. I think you a little lit. Sir, you might want to just take the evening off and look up the word pocket watching. You literally just used it completely out of context. This is the best he could do. This is the best he could do. Ain't y'all pocket watching? Sir, pocket watching is when you're questioning somebody about why they're making so much money. You want to stop them from making money. We're saying exactly the opposite. Hey, Kanye, stop losing money. You pocket watching. Was that the best you could come up with? Yeah. This Hennessy won't let me do, very much more beyond that right there. But you know y'all wrong with it. All right. Folks, this dude just said that telling Kanye don't lose money is pocket watching. Completely devoid of the English language or any comprehension thereof. Call of America code 770. You're on live with the Black Channel. What's your name? Where you calling from?
Hey, Jason. This is Gary out of Atlanta.
Gary out of Atlanta. What's on your mind?
What's up, Jason? I see three problems with Kanye's situations. I think the first problem was he tried to get that Chinese connect like two and a half years ago. And if you remember, he was kind of mad at Kim because he was trying to get her to connect him with people in China to produce his clothing and his sneakers, but it never happened. And then around the same time, if you remember, that's when he was all on Trump, on Trump real heavy. And I think Kanye was worth, 40 or 50 mil at the time. But then all of a sudden, out of nowhere, he was a billionaire. So I think Trump gave him some type of tax write-off or something besides the companies he was working with.
Okay, well, no, his billionaire net worth came from the deals that he made. So the value of those deals, for those of you who don't understand why that's important, let me explain this to you again. When you purchase a business, there are essentially three things that you get or gain when you purchase a business. Number one, you're going to get the business's physical assets. Number two, you're probably going to get the business's debts. But number three, you are also going to get the business's contracts, if any. You get the physical assets, which I'm going to include intellectual property within that as far as the physical assets. You get the company's physical assets. You get their debts, if any. And you also get their contracts. So those are the assets of the business, not just income, but contracts. That's how you project future earnings. We can also project future valuations of the company. So if you don't just have physical assets, you don't just have intellectual properties, you've also got contracts. So for those of you who don't know, and most of you don't know, when you're dealing with a business or an acquisition of a business, one of the first things we look for is, by the way, how many contracts you got? Because that right there, you might be able to hold on to. You might have a 5-year contract, but guess what? If I can get them to renew that contract for another 5 years, that's guaranteed money. So I don't have to go looking for customers. I've already got a floor and a foundation on which to build. That's valuable if your business has been able to do that. So if Kanye has a multi-million-dollar contract with Adidas and Reebok, I'm not saying he had one with Reebok, but Balenciaga, you got all these connections that you spent years whining and pitching and moaning and crying for, and you finally got real contracts underpin. You really have real contracts under signage, under signature.
Well,
that's a huge value for a business to have. So yes, we count that as your net worth. The very fact you're mobbed up with them, yes, that goes into your valuation of your net worth. You know why? Because the average person ain't got that. They have a wage job and that's all they have. You have literally under signature a connection to a large business. Yes, that's part of your net worth and your value. Absolutely.
Well, Jason, I got 2 questions, and I know you can answer it for me. Do you think because he didn't, when he became billionaire status, do you think because he didn't create his own factory, that was an issue?
No.
As far as the first question?
No.
And the second question?
Nike doesn't have their own factories. What the hell? Apple doesn't have their own factory. What the hell? All this, boy, Apple doesn't have a factory. They've got a Chinese company called Foxconn where people are literally over there committing suicide and dying. Apple does not even build their own phones. The only company that, for the most part, does is Samsung. Because they're basically a monopoly out of South Korea. Apple don't even, this is the crazy thing before talking about, well, he was partnering with them. Apple doesn't even build their own phones. They design them and then they send them to China to Foxconn. And we've known this forever. Foxconn builds the actual phones. And then Apple basically distributes from everybody except themselves. So no, Nike doesn't own the factory that makes their shoes. It's a closely guarded secret, although most people figure it's over there either in the Philippines or Vietnam. Depending on what you think, that's a very closely guarded secret. But by the way, Nike does not own the factory that makes their shoes. Calvin Klein, P. Diddy, we can go down the list. Bruh, don't none of these folk own a factory. Who in the hell is telling people that Calvin Klein and Ralph Lauren own the factory that makes their clothes? Who the hell is saying this? Find this nigga and whoop him.
I hear people say this all the time. Like, why he don't own his own factory? I hear this all the time.
And to which you know what to say, which is tell me the factory that Nike owns, and why is it after 45 years, Nike doesn't demand to own their own factory?
Mm-hmm. And my second question is, do you think that he was betting on Trump to be president still, or is he still betting on Trump to become president?
No, Kanye is wilding the hell out. He doesn't have any support from black society. He doesn't have a base to support him, and he's saying stuff, and ordinarily he'd be safe, but right now he doesn't have any support from black society. He doesn't have any true support from white society. He just lost support from Jewish society. The business class is turning their backs, so it's just bad on top of bad. Thank you very much for giving us a call here tonight. By the way, any jackass who tries to talk you all into the rabbit hole of discussing, well, Kanye wants to have a factory, none of the people who are whooping his ass, none of the people who could put him in billionaire status, they don't own their factories either. All their stuff is being made in Southern Asia. All your technology companies, all this stuff is being made in China and Taiwan. With some jackass telling us that Kanye needs to own the factory. When literally all these clothing people you talking about do not own theirs. Now explain to me how the hell that is. Where's the chess move? These folks don't even have the facts straight. Kanye need to own his factory. Nike doesn't. Reebok doesn't. They put in an order in Southern Asia, And 4 weeks later, here comes a big ass cruise ship filled from top to bottom with shoes. They put in a big ass order in Southern Asia, and a cruise, not a cruise ship, but a not steamship either, by the way. A transport ship shows up, an ocean liner shows up with a big ass crate of shoes. Now, how the hell is it that you trying to get a deal with Adidas and they don't have to own the factory, but you do? So Adidas not owning the factory is how they became king. But you sitting up here saying you have to artificially own a factory, now you got to run a factory, that's a chess move? The levels of ignorance that people are willing to sit up and suggest and defend, it's embarrassing. Call of America 470, you're on live with the Black Channel. What's your name? Where you calling from?
Yes, this is Truth calling out of Atlanta.
Truth out of Atlanta, what's on your mind?
Oh, yeah. Brother Jason, man, black first. Oh, this guy's not playing chess. I'm going to give you an old adage. It says, the fool and his money will soon be parted. You know, I think that one of his biggest problems is that, number one, I don't think he grew up with his father. The second part is he doesn't have anybody around him that's going to pull his coattails. And what you said earlier, snatch the microphone away from him, get him to shut up. Don't nobody want to see another black man lose their money like that. And, you know, for some of these guys to come up here and say that, you know, this is the daily grind, we don't have those type of problems. But if us regular guys, the grassroots, the brothers that's out here grinding every day, if we have an opportunity like that, we're not going to squander it away. It's just crazy. I don't see how these guys can sit up here and defend that, and
because they're at the bottom, and the truth of the matter is they feel nothing. The individuals who called me up tonight, they feel absolutely nothing. And some of them even stated it, that if Kanye goes broke, that's okay. He's won a spiritual battle. Remember the last guy who called in last week? If Kanye loses everything he got, that's okay, because he's fighting a spiritual battle. Now, it's easy for that guy to sit up here and say that hogwash. It ain't his money he's gonna lose. It's Kanye's. And rather than protect Kanye and say, hey, keep that to yourself so you can keep building up and get some other folk raised up, instead of protecting him, they're saying, yeah, Kanye, go ahead and liquidate that now, so you control Jewish people for a week before they take everything. And even if you succeeded at quote unquote, whatever it is you think you're going to do with Jewish folk, even if you succeeded, by the way, you've left all these other elements alone. Although now I'm going to say something else. Maybe Kanye is okay with that because he has been laying up with a white woman among others for a decade. After he left Kim, he got some more white women. Maybe they weren't Jewish. Maybe that was the issue. But just like the guy from Southern Florida, his ability to lay up with non-black women, next thing you know, he's given a pass to everybody. I couldn't help but notice their rate of interracial sexual access also determine who they give a pass to. So Kanye's giving out passes to all the others. Just not Jewish women. And I'm like, okay, well, maybe the Jewish chicks wasn't giving him the play that he wanted to. Maybe that's where it's coming from. I don't know. Thank you very much for giving us a call. Now let me get caller from your code 760. You're on live with the Black Channel. What's your name? Where you calling from?
True Sight, Victorville, California.
All right, True Sight in Victorville. What's on your mind?
Okay. Right now I'm thinking about the constant disrespecting and sidelining of our people with the 14th Amendment and the fourth article of that 14th Amendment, which states that the compensations to Confederates or their descendants shouldn't be paid by the United States government or any state. It's the
Call of America code 804. You're on live with the Black Channel. What's your name? Where you calling from?
Hey, how you doing? This is Tim calling from Richmond, Virginia.
Tim from Richmond. What's on your mind?
Yeah, I completely agree with what Neely Fuller says. There's only two classifications, white and non-white, in this system that we're living under. So that's the first thing I want to declare. So I'm not under no illusion. I believe what Neely Fuller says to be true. Now, on the issue of Kanye, I don't think he really understood what he was doing when he did it. He spoke against only two groups, really, and that was he spoke on China and he spoke on the so-called Jewish people. The reason I think he spoke on those particular groups was because of the industry that he's in. He's in fashion, media, music. So naturally, that's all he knows about, really. He doesn't know about anything else. So I think that's why he jumped out there and spoke on those particular people first. He didn't really understand. He really doesn't understand politics and how the world works.
Brother, he understood politics well enough to say that George W. Bush don't care about black people after Hurricane Katrina. So let's not do that. Let's not do that. Let's not do that. Now we're fabricating lies to try to justify what he's doing. Let's not talk. He's sitting next to Candace Owens. He's letting you know, and that he's been doing this now for years. He's been doing little grimy stuff like this for years. You talking about he doesn't know about politics. He literally was booed up with Donald Trump. Bro, let's stop the cap, okay? Let's not do that. Let's not do that. Okay. This is incredibly dishonest for you to do. This is very dishonest.
What I'm saying is he doesn't know how he's being used by politicians enough. He doesn't understand it. Like he was being used by Donald Trump.
Who says that? Who determines that? How do you know he doesn't know?
Well, from his actions, he doesn't know. You see what I'm saying? I only can judge him by his actions, because if he knew, he wouldn't have done it. So I can only assume, from his actions, he doesn't know.
If he knew, he wouldn't have done what?
Like when he got hooked up with Candace Owens, right? He always declares that he doesn't read books, and I believe him when he says that. I believe him when he says
okay,
that.
but you don't need to read a book to know Candace Owens get down. So what you're saying doesn't disprove anything. A book is going to slow you down. You can go to YouTube and see Candace Owens get down.
Yeah, I understand what you're saying, but Candace Owens kind of influenced him and used him when he said those statements about George Floyd. You see, he didn't go and research on his own to find out clearly what the autopsy said. He obviously didn't look at the video from beginning to end.
But sir, if Kanye West were white, would you be giving him the same defense?
If Kanye West was what? I didn't hear what you said.
If Kanye West were white, making the same comments about George Floyd, would you give him the same defense? Well, he just doesn't understand politics. It's not because he's white supremacist. It's not because he's aligned with the alt-right. It's because he doesn't understand politics, Jason. He didn't read the autopsy.
90 seconds.
Jason, he didn't read the autopsy, Jason. If Kanye were white, would you give him the same defense for following behind Candace Owens?
Yeah, I would say the same thing, because I say the same thing about Donald Trump. He doesn't really understand politics. You can see the way he went out.
So it's not So it's not that this is his racist tendencies expressing themselves. It's he doesn't understand politics.
No,
60 seconds.
Just like Donald Trump does not understand politics, or he wouldn't have made statements like both sides. There's good people on both sides. He wouldn't align himself so strongly with the alt-right.
I just want to make sure I'm clear. You're saying it's not because he doesn't see the alt-right out there yelling, "You will not replace us." I interviewed Richard Spencer. They made it very clear. Jason Kessler, remember, in my documentary Race War, I've already gone over this. Jason Kessler was the one who got the permit for them to be there in D.C. Now, Jason Kessler was the one who applied for the permit for them in Charlottesville. So you can't even pretend you don't know who it was. Jason Kessler applied for the permit in Charlottesville. So these were card-carrying white supremacists. You can't say there were good people on both sides when the guy who applied for the permit in Charlottesville was Jason Kessler.
Yes, that's what I'm saying. But Donald Trump he doesn't know any better than to align himself. He could have still been in office if he did not align himself with those people.
So you're saying that Donald Trump didn't align himself with those people because Donald Trump is a fellow white supremacist. You're saying Donald Trump's not a fellow white supremacist. He just doesn't understand the politics of the people that he defends?
He doesn't understand the politics of America, meaning that he could have rode the fence in the middle and still been the president. He didn't have to go all the way out and align himself with the alt-right and other people like that. Because the white people that were voting for him before, when he got into office, they were not aligned with the alt-right. They were not aligned with the alt-right. The white women that voted for him, they weren't aligned with the alt-right movement and things like that. They were taking a chance on him.
So you don't think the white people who voted for Donald Trump have white supremacist tendencies?
I'm saying a segment of them do. But those segment of people would have voted for him anyway. They weren't going to vote for Hillary Clinton.
So you don't think the folk who voted for Donald Trump thought that they were voting for a white nativist?
And he would have had a better chance of winning against Biden if he hadn't so much lean in that direction. He would have won again.
Okay, so when Donald Trump, and this is in my documentary Race War, I paid to get the footage from CNN. I paid to get that footage. It cost me a lot of money, but I paid it. When Donald Trump sat there on CNN and said, well, we're going to take down all the statues of slave owners. We're going to take down the statues of George Washington and Thomas Jefferson too. Where does it end? He was directly defending slave owners while defending Richard Spencer and Jason Kessler in Charlottesville. And you talking about he didn't understand and that wasn't white supremacy, sir?
I'm saying he was under the impression that he needed those particular people to win.
Okay, but that has nothing to do with what he understands. But that has nothing to do with what he understands, sir. Are you saying that after he said that wasn't him expressing that he understands white supremacy and that's what he's defending?
Of course he understands white supremacy. He's white. You know what I'm saying? The same way we understand it.
But you just said that he didn't understand politics. White supremacy is his politics. I said he didn't understand. But are you saying that white supremacy is not his politics?
I'm saying that, of course, he understands white supremacy.
Let me try this again. Sir, are you saying that white supremacy is not Donald Trump's politics?
White supremacy is the wrong move that he made in his political decision. That's what I'm saying. I'm saying that. That's what I'm saying.
So you're just going to give him a pass?
I'm not giving him a pass. I'm saying that Donald Trump understands racism, white supremacy, like all white people in America does. I'm saying that he made a wrong political decision by riding with them. That's what I'm saying. Hello?
Brother, do you hear yourself?
Yes, I do.
Okay. How old are you?
40.
Where are your people from originally?
I have family from Virginia
and
North Carolina
and
Washington D.C.
and
what do you mean and?
Where else they from?
That's where my family is from.
Okay, I'll have to see the DNA on that. I'm skeptical, sir. Do you all realize how many 40? Y'all realize how many 40-plus-year-old black men we done had call in tonight? Do you all remember? Do y'all realize how many 40-plus-year-old black men we had calling tonight with this nonsense? Thank you very much for giving this call. This guy right here got his damn MAGA hat. That guy got his damn MAGA hat under the damn sink. Caller from area code 412. You're on live with the Black Channel. What's your name? Where you calling from?
Good evening, Jason. My name is Robert. I'm calling from Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania.
Robert from Pittsburgh. What's on your mind?
Kanye, he's playing checkers, not chess. Kanye, this is what happens when you straddle the fence. Kanye and others are demonstrating social, financial, and political deficits. If you fail to plan, you plan to fail. These deficits reveals no plan for beneficial FBA collective results. Kanye squandered a chance to point out the sum total of other ethnicities that are against black people. They are bandits who have a unified code to undermine and destroy black people. Jay Clark said that we have no friends, and that point is so succinct. And for him not pointing out the whole thing and just focusing on one ethnicity, I thought was irresponsible and unknowledgeable. And yes, it's tragic how he allowed himself and enabled himself to be in this position. Not only did it hurt him, but it hurt generational wealth that could be extrapolated to black people all throughout this country. He ought to be ashamed of himself for aligning himself with the wrong people and not listening to people that maybe know more than he does. I think he was ego-driven, and that was a deficit that he showed.
Well, thank you very much, Robert. We appreciate that. Let me get caller from area code 323. You're on live with the Black Channel. What's your name? Where you calling from?
Hi, Jason. Felicia from Los Angeles.
Felicia from Los Angeles. What's on your mind?
Yes, I just want to say this whole situation as a black woman is just kind of disgusting to me because I don't understand, well, whatever. Why couldn't he just be quiet? Why can't our people just move in silence, make money, create generational wealth like every other group does?
Because
he's the only one
attention is a form of currency to most black people. If you want to know why it is that all these black folk, for decades and decades, they can blame the Jewish record labels or whatever. The Jewish record labels were in it for money, and the average black person they signed was in it for attention. So as long as they got attention and hand claps, they were like, hey, book me for another concert so they could hear the roar of the crowd. Now, I want you to understand, that's a hell of a drug. If you want to know how it is, there's so many people in Hollywood, and you're from that area. You want to know how many folk come up there on the bus, on the Greyhound, on the plane, looking to be a star. Do you notice what they didn't say? They didn't say, I came here to be rich. Mark Zuckerberg came to California to come get rich. Mark Dorsey and them came to California to get rich. The folks who go in the entertainment business, they didn't do it to come get rich. They told you, I came to be a star. In other words, I want to be well known. I want to have a name of renown. I want people to recognize me everywhere I go. And that to them has a numerical monetary value. That's the problem. These white folk can hand you a television camera and put you in front of a microphone at a radio station, and that has hundreds of thousands of dollars of net worth value. The white man is like, well, I'll take the check. I'll take that. You take this interview with Charlemagne. You take an interview with him, and we're good. We're good.
Yes. And one more question I wanted.
Let me say one more thing here. And for the folks sitting up here digging up interviews of Charlemagne on Vlad TV and trying to make some sort of correlation, I want you all to know that basically you're whistling past the graveyard. You're really making a fool of yourselves. You're kind of whistling past the graveyard. That's not going to help Kanye. But go ahead.
Yeah, it makes me think about all the things you talked about in the past. What have these old Negroes done? They've left nothing. And Kanye is the same. Even though he's younger, he's the same, continuing on that path of just not leaving anything for anybody. He could have his whole family with generational wealth, like Max Factor, like the Rockefellers, like the Carnegies, like the Standard Oil, where generations, cousins, everyone does it but us. It's like, is it we don't want our own family to benefit or have anything? I'm just trying to figure out the mentality.
Because if you are unwilling to shed that, Dr. John Henry Clark didn't just say it because it sounded cute. When he said that black people as a group suffer from the disease of ego starvation, and everybody around us can see it. Everybody around us can see that because we have not been esteemed, because you're in a system where you're basically invisible. Black folk as a group are suffering from this psychological deficiency where you're screaming to get people to notice that you exist. So that's being used against you. Now that they know that that's what your priority is art of war. Now I can use it against you because you value that more than tangible control. So the white folk get the money and the power, you get fame and notoriety. And then you think they're equivalent, but they're not. So you start putting a value on that because look, you got to be ready to sacrifice something. If you're going to get financial power, you got to be ready to sacrifice something. Well, guess what? If you want fame, you have to sacrifice something too. The difference is you have to sacrifice two different things. That's the difference. You're sacrificing two different things. So for a lot of black folk, the promise of, quote, fame and notoriety, they think that gives them power. Well, as many people know about me as know about Elon Musk. Well, yeah, you might be as known by all these people, but what he's got and what you got are two different things. How you figure that? He ain't a bigger name than me. I just explained to you what the difference is. So just understand that's what it is. You're playing two different games. One of you thinks that attention has a monetary value. The other one thinks that money has a monetary value. Thank you very much for giving us a call. Let me get caller area code 972. You're on live with the Black Channel. What's your name? Where you calling from?
Kevy Stone. I'm calling out of Dallas.
All right. What's your first name?
Kevy.
All right, Kevy Stone.
Kevy Stone. I'm calling out of Dallas.
All right. What's on your mind?
Yeah, I'm trying to figure out what do black people want? What do they want when they want Kanye West to carry down the same status quo that is getting us nowhere? Another Oprah Winfrey, another Tyler Perry. I think it's necessary sometimes for. I think this country needs to be flipped on his head, and sometimes there's sacrifices. If Kanye West is willing to, he's the one sacrificing. If he's not crying about it, if he's continuing on it, he still has brand power. I think it's necessary for him to be able to have his own, for black people to be able to have our own. In the long run, it could be more of a benefit for everyone.
Okay, I don't get your point.
Oh yeah.
Are you saying that he's pulling a chess move right now?
I'm saying that
okay,
if
sir,
Kanye West
sir,
was
yes
a
or
multi-billionaire,
sir, yes or no? Is Kanye winning right now?
I'm saying that he could win in the long run.
Okay, you're saying the same thing all these other guys are saying, and none of you will say that this is the right thing to do. All of y'all saying, well, it could be. So if you can't say it's the right move,
I think it is
if
the right
you don't
thing to do.
know it's the right move,
I
then
think
you
it is
how
the
can
right thing
you?
to do.
So you think what he's doing now is the right move?
Yes.
Okay, tell me
It is the right thing to
tell
do.
me the previous business mogul who did exactly the same thing he's doing now and it worked out well. Name him.
I don't know any business moguls that has done the exact same thing he's done.
Okay, now name for me the business
And
moguls.
that's the whole point.
Name for me the
We do
business
something
moguls
different.
who have done the exact same thing and it ended disastrously.
I don't know. Are we talking about black business moguls?
Well, any at all, sir, not black. Name for me any business mogul anywhere who did exactly what Kanye is doing right now and it turned out well.
I'm concerned about black business.
Okay, sir. No. What I'm saying is that in all,
America.
okay, but business is business. If what he's doing is a smart business move, you should be able to tell us how this is going to turn out well.
It could turn out well because Kanye West still has support.
No, you said it can.
Still
You
does.
said it can. Sir,
He has brand power.
it's going
He still
down
has
the
brand power. He
tubes.
still has white people.
Sir,
too.
he's lost his
And if
contacts. He lost his contacts. He's lost his connections. He's lost his partnerships. All those things that you say gave him brand value, he just lost them.
That's white supremacy.
Okay, but you're a liar. You're a liar then if you're saying, sir, you're a liar if you're saying he's got brand value. I just told you he just lost it. Now you're talking about, well, I mean, that's white supremacy. He doesn't have it.
He has people still willing to buy his products.
No, sir. He doesn't have the number of he does not have the number of people willing to buy anymore.
He still has numbers of people that want to buy his product. Just because the Jewish community is trying to smear him, that ain't has he still
Sir,
has he has a
he
customer
doesn't
base.
have the
And if-
number
and if
of
he could
people
go-
willing
if he
to
could get
buy.
manufacturing.
He does
The
not.
same
You're lying.
manufacturing
Sir,
that-
you're
that
lying.
white companies
Sir,
could
you're
get-
lying. You're not going to get on my phone and lie. He doesn't have the same number of people willing to buy. He certainly doesn't have the same amount of help to be able to distribute and get it to anybody who would want to buy. He doesn't have that anymore either.
Yeah, I beg to differ. That he still got white people. Still, he still have a fan. He still have a brand base.
Okay, sir, if what you're saying is true, sir, if what you're saying is true, why is it Big Baller Brand isn't the most expensive, biggest shoe company on the earth?
I don't know. Big Baller Brand is successful.
Yeah. How successful?
Uh-huh.
How successful?
Big Baller Brand was he went from a far greater level than he was before he started it.
Third time.
And
how
he was making money off Big Baller
successful?
Brand before
How
they
successful
even
are?
got to the NBA.
How successful are they?
They're successful enough to be able to people who are interested in their products support their business.
Okay. How many people
They need to get
outside,
more numbers.
sir? How many people outside of the Ball family have they signed to be to a shoe deal?
I think you're focusing on the business savvy of the individual.
No, sir, no, their business ability, sir. If it's Birdman and Cash Money Records, he signs people. If it's Ludacris, he signs people. If it's Eazy-E, he signs people. Tell me who Big Baller Brand is signing.
It's not Big Baller.
Sir, if you are a
Birdman
successful
individual.
sir, if you're a successful concern, you're signing people. Just like Nike, just like Reebok. Who is Big Baller Brand signing?
Big Baller Brand, whatever his business savvy.
Yeah,
is,
there you go. There you go. There you go. All
knowledge.
right. There you
Right.
go. Yeah,
He's
there you
successful,
go.
and his sons are
There you
successful.
go. Yeah, he's not.
he's a
yeah,
multi-millionaire.
you just keep saying those words when you're asked. Tell us how successful. I mean, they successful. Give us proof. You have none.
Yes, I can tell you he's living far better than what he was before.
Okay,
his sons
sir.
got into,
Thank you very much for
with his-
giving us a call tonight. Old drunk lion. Old drunken. He doing good. Well, he doing better than they was. He doing all right. He doing fine. He doing extra good. He living extra clean. They doing extra fine. They doing great big. Sir, tell me you're stupid without telling me you're stupid. People, clothing, let me explain this to the dunderheads and back of the school bus rejects who fell out the back door of the back of the school bus. Clothing isn't like anything else. Maybe you can get away with shipping cell phones and computers, although even Apple doesn't do that. People, if selling direct to customers was the lick, why is it that and physical stores aren't necessary? Why is it that Apple doesn't cancel all their contracts with Best Buy, AT&T, T-Mobile, anybody, Amazon, anything else? Why is it that Apple doesn't strictly sell their phones out of their stores? If direct to consumer really works the way these clowns are pretending it does, a bunch of guys who don't make any money on direct to consumer, they don't make any money at this, they're calling us up with their theories. This is what makes black women as a group sick when they sit and talk to a lot of black males, because she's talking about bring me some concrete proof and he's talking about let me hit you with my funky cold theory. If what he's saying makes sense, why is it that Apple, all these folks talking about he can sell direct to people, if that's the way to do it, then why hasn't Apple closed off all their other partners and they sell strictly through their stores or strictly online, they ship it out themselves? Why is it that they have partnerships with all these telecommunication companies? Why is that? If what you're saying makes a damn lick of sense. If what you're saying makes a damn lick of sense, why is it that the biggest corporations on earth are doing exactly the opposite? They became the biggest corporations on earth doing the opposite, but we don't need to listen to them. We need to listen to your crack cocaine-induced haze hallucinating on my phone. And they hate it when folk don't want to hear them. It's like, dude, you sound stupid. Caller from area code 701. You're on live with the Black Channel. What's your name? Where you calling from?
This is Kevin Jackson calling from Carrollton, North Dakota.
All right, Kevin, what's on your mind?
Well, as you can see, TVA, our black people don't know nothing about business or politics, and you see why we're in the position we're in listening to your call. Keon West ain't nothing but a buffoon and a clown. He never was a leader. I was through with Keon when he married Kim Kardashian. I knew I was through with him then. He ain't doing no chess moves. He's a follower. That's all he is. He's doing what Candace on and her white supremacist husband told him to do. Go after the Jew. Why would you go after the people that you in business with? That don't make no goddamn sense.
Well, if we're talking about warfare, here's the thing. Even if we're talking about warfare, who in the hell is stupid enough to fight somebody when you don't have any backup? Kanye has no backup. He has no support. You are outrageously outsized against them. So I'm just saying, even just adhering to basic warfare rules, you have not used the art of deception. You're going up against an enemy who is far bigger and far stronger than you, and you trying to take them head on? And then got clowns on the internet talking about, yeah, you go, boy, you go, boy, you go, boy.
The very same people you in business with. You know, that's what I don't understand.
Here's the thing. White folk will go into business with black folk, can't stand our damn guts, and yet will keep their mouths shut and make money off of us so that they can go and fund interests that work against us. Shout out Kid Rock. For those of you who done forgot. Baldity baldy bangsy bang. Yeah, this was the white boy who was at the award shows and he's scratching on the turntables. Next thing you know, he picks up a damn electric guitar and a Confederate flag and voting for Donald Trump. He didn't say a damn thing. When you're sitting there in the damn video and he's got the black dude sitting there rocking out on the damn guitar, he didn't say nothing then. He didn't say a damn thing. He made his money off of us. He solidified his money off of us. He got his financial base off of us. And as soon as he got free, then he let the real damn thing come out, and he's not beholden to us, nor can we do anything anymore. He stayed quiet. Truth be told, he's still quiet now. He's letting that Confederate flag behind him do all the damn talking. Kid Rock has yet to say a negative bad word about black folk, period. I want y'all to think about real chess moves. Kid Rock ain't said a negative damn word about black folk, period. He lets that Confederate flag do all his speech for him. That Confederate flag does all the talking. He ain't trying to troll us. He doesn't want attention. He just wants to get the point across. He got his damn point across to me. Nothing else needs to be said as far as I'm concerned. Message received. Meanwhile, folks talking about this is a damn chess move. Only niggas who think that eating the chessboard is a chess move. Thank you very much for giving us a call. We're going to take one more call. Let me get caller Miracle 609. You're on live with the Black Channel. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Good evening, Jason. This is Frank from Titusville, Florida.
Frank from Titusville. What's on your mind?
Okay. Hypothetically, do you think that it would be in best folks' best interest collectively if we boycott those companies that are boycotting Kanye?
Okay,
Because
black
as you're
people. Okay, short answer. Black people are 1/2 of 1% of the American economy. Do the math.
Right. Okay. But we spend a lot on nonsense.
Black people
you know
are
what I mean?
1/2 of 1% of the American economy. Do you think Balenciaga made its fortune off of black people, sir?
I never knew who that company was before.
Okay.
Kanye,
Well,
to be honest with you.
sir,
So the answer is no.
Black people are 1/2 of 1% of the American economy. Do the math.
Okay, you're right. I just wanted to see where you stood on it.
Thank you for giving us a call. Yeah, to all the folks out there who like to pretend to themselves that Gucci and Louis Vuitton are biting their fingernails and would be having panic attacks if black people said we weren't going to buy from them. Yeah, that's not the way it works. The only time that they ever do anything is when you put negative publicity on them. They don't like that because that smears the brand and that can spill outside of the target community. So if you're negative towards black folk, smearing the brand makes you persona non grata among white folk. So you don't want that happening. But as far as you just pull your money out and say, screw it. Yeah, that doesn't register. That doesn't register. That doesn't bother anything. That none of these businesses built what they are based on what we doing. So nice little fantasy. It doesn't work that way. Well, there was a whole lot to learn here tonight. I'm so glad we had so many people call up and expose the level of ignorance. If y'all want to know who are the people who are calling this a chess move, you heard it tonight. A shameful parade of historic ignorance, but you heard it tonight. I'll let that speak for itself. I'll let that one speak for itself. We're going to go ahead and wrap things up here tonight. I want to thank everyone who has contributed to support tonight's program here. So thank you very much here. New B1 Media is a lifesaver. Richard Allen, big shout out here to Andrea Roberson and everybody who's contributed to support tonight's program here on PayPal or Cash App. If you are new here to the Black Channel, welcome to the Haven of Intelligent Black Thought. We do this every weekend. Click that red subscribe button. Click that yellow notification bell. Join us each and every time. And if you haven't been to our website, blackchannelfilms.com, you want to go there and check out our groundbreaking best-selling documentary work, 7 a.m. Gentrified Race War, all available on DVD and on Amazon. Go to blackchannelfilms.com. That is blackchannelfilms.com. I want to thank all of you for joining us here tonight, live or recorded. And this concludes tonight's broadcast of the Black Channel. I am your host, your brother, your humble servant, the Black Authority. And until next time, my brothers and my sisters from around the world, remember, black is the future, and the future is a chess move.